Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-optional Podcast for the 26th of July 2016. Slightly later than usual. It's all Jesse's fault.
Works
It's
for
all
me.
Jesse's fault. Gosh,
You got me.
gosh dingle dang it, Jesse.
You got me.
He's already being influenced by those horrible British fellows that he's residing with at the moment.
I feel like he'd be immune to that being around you so much.
Well, no, I'm just a horrible British fellow. There's more than one over there.
Yeah, he's just a horrible fellow.
That's just the
British
whole
is
country.
me.
No, he's a horrible fellow. That's the song, right? Which kitchen are you sitting in, Jesse?
A very nice kitchen at the moment, filled with lilt.
Ah, for a totally tropical taste.
Shit's
Lilt.
little. Shit's little.
What?
100.
It's lilt as fuck.
Lilt
Lilt.
is amazing. I introduced Jen to Lilt last year and would do nothing but racist interpretations of the Lilt ad that used to run when I was a kid. Like, Lilt with a totally tropical taste. It's like, you're not allowed to say that anymore in 2016.
Was that your Jamaican?
That's culturally insensitive. You can't
Was
do that.
that your Jamaican?
Yeah, man. It's mostly because I was a troll in WoW, so it's about as close as I get. That bag is full.
This is great.
I
Bringing
got
me
to
back.
attack that target.
More.
We need more troll from you.
You know what I miss? I miss Surge.
Oh God.
Oh
Hey,
dear. I've
Dum
heard
Dum.
stories of Surge.
It's back. It's back. I was at.
But it doesn't taste the same. It's not the same. I miss real Surge.
What is that? She's referring to Serge, the greased up man she met at a party several years ago.
Surge, call me.
Whoever
You're
you're
like,
at.
for the 10,000th time, my name's Sergey.
I was
God
gonna say,
damn it.
pronounce Sergey, right?
Surge.
Serge.
Hey, Sergey Rachmaninoff,
Surge.
yeah. The famous composer.
Jolt. Jolt was another terrible one.
Jolt.
Cold Cola, man. That was 13-year-old Jesse.
Energy? Was that the energy gum? There's energy gum and also had an energy drink. I think Jolt was maybe it.
What?
It wasn't Surge. There was no Surge
Energy
gum.
gum.
No, there was an energy gum. I remember as a young boy working as the host at Applebee's, chewing the whole package of that stuff.
It was Jolt, yes. Jolt, energy gum, and energy mints. Stay
Yes.
alert
Wait,
and have
I need
fun.
to hear the end of Mathas's story.
Oh,
He
yes.
chewed an entire package of
And
Jolt gum in one night.
No,
He
I
died. He's a
It was.
ghost.
It was at the end. I was shaking harder than I've ever shaken in my entire life. Like I should not. And it was like the warning because I was like 16. It's like don't chew more than 2 of these within a certain time frame. Like fuck your rules. And I just had the whole thing. And I was shaking profuse. It was awful. It was the worst.
Just a rebel.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
it
I'd ever
was.
want to be alert in an Applebee's at any point.
Especially as an employee, you don't want to.
It's best to not realize that you're there, I think.
For the most part.
Applebee's is a experience you want to forget or be in, a temporary coma while you're there.
There'll be maybe one day I'll tell you horrendous stories about working at an Applebee's for years. And
I can't
food.
imagine. Oh, I can. I imagine a lot of the stuff was microwaved. There's like a basic level, I think, that every
Oh
chain
shit!
restaurant...
Confirmed.
No.
Confirmed.
Yeah,
Live on the Co-optional
There's a
podcast.
basic level of things that, like, every chain restaurant, no matter how shitty, should be able to pull off, And you'd think burger would be on the list. Burger, that's got to be safe regardless of where you go, right? No! Apparently not with Applebee's. Because the last time we ever showed up there was years ago. We were on the road, we're like, fuck it. We need food. Applebee's kind of resembles food, so we'll show up there. It's like, all right, just get a burger. They can't possibly mess that up, right? This
No, they
black disc appears on my table. It's like,
Did
all
they
right,
ask you at the time, like, how did you want it cooked? Because at some point down the line, we stopped asking how did you want it cooked, and all we asked was pink or no pink.
well, it was frozen in the middle and burnt on the outside. So I don't think it was any real
So,
definition of meat.
Pink?
Wait,
Yes.
I love how utterly dumbed down they had to make that. Like, people don't know what they want clearly, and so
To be
they're
fair,
like, "Do you want it pink or not pink?"
people that know what food is generally don't go to Applebee's.
I guess that's true.
Baked haddock was in plastic bags, and we mostly just tossed it in the microwave, and
Yeah,
then
that literally is it.
I've only been to Applebee's a couple of times, but I do know that one time I left my phone there, and our waitress immediately called like the last person that I had texted And it happened to be the other girl who was in the car with me, and she was like, "Oh fuck, dude, you left your phone at Applebee's." And I was like, "Oh!" So we like, a bitch.
That's good. Didn't get stolen. That's promising.
I know. She like immediately called us. So I was like, "Thank you, thank you."
Surprising.
Good guy,
How many
Applebee's
people-
waitress.
I like how you feel like you have to come to the defense of Applebee's because we're railing on them a little bit too hard.
I don't. I'm just saying, like, Mathas worked there. Lovely Applebee's waitress lady worked there. It's not
Doesn't
their
mean-
fault. It's not their fault that Applebee's sucks ass.
No, it really is
There are
not.
lovely people working there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the cook's fault. The waiters are fine.
Well, to be fair, like, can you really be
They're
a
the
cook
scumbag.
if all of
Cook,
your
you mean
food
the
comes
microwave?
frozen? You know,
Yeah, the
you don't really
microwave.
get the chance to show your chef flair. You know, when it's like put this in a bag and put it in the microwave for 2 minutes,
As
then
a
charge $10
waiter, you
for it.
doubled as like a dishwasher most days as well. Like you'd go back there, be like, "No dishwasher today, guys. So make sure you get the dishes run through." Like, "Oh, all right. Well, thank God I get paid $2.63 an hour to do the dishes."
God.
Much like
all
Applebee's,
that being
Mathas, you were
said-
our last resort today, so welcome to the show.
I know. Last resort. Hey, how's it going?
Because I'm a moron and forgot to book a
You're,
guest
you're
this
our,
week.
you're our Papa Roach.
This is like the second time I've been last resort. Thanks for having me.
That's my
Yeah,
reference.
You're
for
becoming
the
a very
kids.
reliable, like, tier 1 last resort pick.
Tier 1 last. I'm a tier 1 something in the world at least. I'll take it.
There you go.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for filling in the 4th spot, because I had no one else to do it. I appreciate that.
Not a problem.
All good. Welcome to the Co-optional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. Coming up on the show, we're going to be talking about the games that we have been playing over the last couple of weeks. And the end of the show is usually news of some description, probably complaining about Nintendo. That's a good idea. You like to do that. And then releases, which will almost all be terrible. I can pretty much guarantee that.
Maybe.
Maybe if we're
Likely.
lucky.
Have we really had a week that you can remember in recent memory where most of the releases on that list have not been shovelware crap?
Never.
No.
Because there are always so many.
Yeah,
you know?
there's so many on
it'll be
Steam.
like, oh, that game, we know that game, and then Pony Dancer Extreme 5, good. Magical Mystery Wizard Experiment, hidden object game.
I would play the fuck out of Magical Mystery Wizard
Yeah, all
Experiment.
these games sound amazing.
To be fair, that also
I
sounds
should
like a
be a
great
game
prog rock
developer. I'm
band.
quitting.
Yeah, no, the games we review are named like Destiny. Wait, no, that's a real game and it's shit. So hold,
Oh,
We're like, well, that's a good one, actually.
wait, hold, or like
Zombie Defense Z Survival.
that's a good one, but usually it's one word like forgotten. You're like, what the fuck is this? And it's like a first person retro experience. You're
I'm
like,
just
oh my
glad
God. Oh, God.
that the first word that came to your head was actually like a AAA
really?
game.
Yeah.
You had to correct yourself and be like, fuck, never mind. New one. I've got to be able to think of another one.
Let's just pick
Yes.
like the name which is as hard to search for on Steam as possible. You know, the most generic word. Is there a game called And? There must be a game called And, right? If not,
and the it would
Oh,
be the
God.
amazing game.
I'm going to type in and see what comes up.
And the
just call your game Hero. It's like,
No.
oh, well, that's impossible to find. There's about 5,000 games on Steam with that word in it.
No and. This is depressing.
oh, what if it's an acronym? Have you tried that?
A&D. Oh, shit.
Yeah, man.
You're a genius.
You're welcome. I don't know if genius is the word I would use for this.
The only game that comes up when I do that is All Aspect Warfare.
Oh,
All
dear.
aspect-
That's a Derek Smart
AAW.
game, isn't it?
I mean, it's
Oh, dear.
really close.
Yeah, you
Very
don't go
close.
into that.
Oh, this looks like Unity Asset Flip. That's what this looks like.
Yeah.
All Aspect Warfare?
Yeah, what is this?
If I recall right, that's a Derek Smart game.
It's mostly
Derek-
negative.
Yeah, Derek. That'll be Derek Smart. All right, Derek Smart.
Poor Derek. I don't know
Listen,
what you're doing out there.
Derek, I
dude.
don't
Okay.
know you. I just
So-
looking at your game.
Do you remember a very
Poor
long?
Derek.
And yeah, it's by 3000 AD. Of course it is. A very long time ago, there was a magazine ad for Derek Smart's first game that was promising. I mean, this game was basically impossible to make at the time and is impossible to make now. But
Peter
he did it
Molyneux
anyway.
game.
It was called Battle Cruiser 3000 AD, and it promised to have a literal AI neural network powering it.
Good.
What?
Yes. All right.
Uh-huh.
What?
I'm
So
in.
obviously, you know,
Future
for
is
a
now.
for a giant space simulator whereby you command a giant starship with all aspects simulated and you go around the universe. The obvious ad for this would be a half-naked woman wearing no underwear with a boxed copy of Battlecruiser 3000 AD directly between her legs, wearing leather thigh highs.
Battle Cruiser 3000, you said?
Gotta get it now. This sounds like it would have done really well on Kickstarter like 3 years ago.
If you look, you can look up Battlecruiser 3000 AD advert, and of course it says she really wants it. And literally in the middle of her legs is a copy of Battlecruiser 3000 AD, and thus started the legacy of. Yeah, I'm deadly serious. Look this up. Go to Google Images. Go to Google Images and look up Battlecruiser 3000. Do it, Dodger.
I don't want to believe that
Dodger,
this
be
is
a
real
man.
PR.
Do it. Quit being a pussy.
First of all, Dodger, you watch weeaboo shit about girls washing their bikes with their boobs all the
Shit.
time.
I did make everybody watch that. and I'm proud
Exactly.
of
So
it.
Oh my
Okay,
God,
fine.
you learned-
What am I
that's-
Google searching?
I
What am
wasn't
I
actually kidding. Battlecruiser 3000 AD advert.
Here, I'll
I
stuff in here.
love that there are other ads here for it as well.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like other awful.
yeah, yeah. That was from the age of ads. You remember the fucking ad for Daikatana? What was it? John Romero's going to make you his bitch. You remember that? That was from the era of ads around then.
What the fuck? Are you looking at this other one that showed up?
Is that the? That's
The new
not.
Game Boy Pocket is seriously distracting. Are you
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at that one?
That I've seen that one.
Yeah,
There's
it's
another one-
like that is just. Yeah, seriously. It's
What is this?
some of these ads in the 80s and 90s were unbelievably
I
distasteful.
like the Neo
I remember when he
Geo
couldn't
one.
keep his
Yeah,
hands
that's
off
what
me.
Neo
Now he's
Geo.
got that
I
Neo
remember when he
Geo.
couldn't keep his hands off of me.
Yeah, with that good old 90s, like really high on the thigh lingerie nonsense. Like, yeah.
Yes, this is
And
There
the
was a lot of
dirtiest
that.
looking man in all time, just playing video games in the background. Like, you guys aren't together. Come on.
Wait,
I mean, you know, if I wanted to
one.
buy a Game Boy Pocket, I'd definitely be convinced by the rather sinister
fuck?
kidnapping and rape implication of the ad for that. I was like, what the shit?
There's a GameCube one where it's like, how do you play yours? And it's a naked woman in a bathtub playing with her GameCube controller.
I mean,
yeah,
that sounds
yeah.
highly
It's
impractical.
the Wavebird, man. The Wavebird wireless.
Yeah, man, that's a reasonable. As long as you don't drop it in the bathtub.
It is,
you're
in
fine.
fact, the Wavebird wireless.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah, back in the day, games ads in magazines were really stupid. As it turns out.
Christ.
Yo, I found one that it's PlayStation Portable White is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. That would have got back. You know, yeah, that was an
This is
unfortunate choice.
super
of-
racist. Like,
It's-
Guys, I
super
don't understand why the PSP failed, though.
The PSP didn't fail. The PSP like sold really well.
Did all right.
But yeah, that whole PSP White ad was not well conceived.
No. That is like 12 Years a Slave level of offensive. Like,
Yeah, it was not well thought out. This was in the era, by the way, when Sony came up with the weirdest fucking ads. You remember the one where I think it was the baby getting shot out of his mother's vagina, quite literally.
Sure, yeah.
And then going through his entire lifespan while flying through the air and then dying at the end, and that was an advert for PlayStation.
Yep, that makes sense.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you remember the PlayStation 3 ad in like that room with the eyeballs and the screaming baby doll?
Yes, I remember that one. Yeah.
That was horrifying. I remember.
Sega Saturn. Are you about to say Sega Saturn?
No.
Sega Saturn has a nude pinup girl with Sega Saturn games on her, and it says, when you've got Sega Saturn's triple 32-bit processing power, nothing else matters.
Oh, God.
I was going to say that I don't remember if it's Polish or if it's Swedish. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Polish and Swedish viewers. Not trying to mix you up.
You're basically both the same, is what she's saying.
No,
Basically, she's saying
so
white people. Am I right?
I was talking about how apparently Donald Duck is like a big deal in some countries.
I think Donald Duck's a
somebody
big deal in every country, really.
Somebody linked me to a video that was literally what you were describing, where it's like somebody being violently born and then going through their life with video games. And then this one, it's like somebody being born and living their entire life with Donald Duck. It was like trying to be really like sweet too. Like Donald Duck is always with us. I was like, what?
For Correctly, the PlayStation Vita had
Adverts
some
are
interesting
best.
ads. I don't know how many of these are correct and how many are not, but the they had to pull this ad which said touch both sides for added enjoyment. It was literally a picture of a woman in a corset with breasts on her back and her front. That, to be fair,
I remember that ad. I remember that.
Yeah, and I assume this one was... the thing is, I never know with Sony whether or not these ads are fake or not, because there's one of a hunky guy in, tighty whities, basically, that says finger the backside for added enjoyment. I was like, and I don't know whether or not that was actually a real ad, because it's Sony, and I don't have a fucking clue anymore.
Have you guys seen the Skittles ad where he, blows his load and it's just Skittles?
Not specifically, no.
Yes.
When was that one?
It's their wedding night.
What a time to be alive.
It's an amazing ad. And Skittles will rain down on her face.
Yeah, she's like, Skittles are falling all over her. It's so funny.
I love stupid ads. I really do.
Welcome to the Co-optional Podcast.
They're highly entertaining.
I know what I'm doing after this.
Skittles?
Clearly.
Skittlebukaki, or Skittlearchy, as we call it. Yeah.
Skittles.
Taste the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow.
Yes.
Well, it's the Co-optional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games, every now and again. And then sometimes we talk about, that.
That GIF is still out there, man.
That GIF will always be out there. Oh, Jesus. All right, what have we been playing this week? Who wants to throw their hat in the ring to begin with?
No matter. I'll tackle it first if you want. That's fine.
Do it.
All right.
So I'm really behind, and I just finished playing through Dishonored for the first time. And
How do you find it?
I loved it. I played the non-lethal way, which people said is the more boring way, but I really enjoyed it.
Strongly disagree. That to me is one of the best ways to do it.
I loved it, and I'm going through the Knife of Dunwall right now. I'm in the middle of Knife of Dunwall, probably on the last mission, and then Brigmore Witches after that. I know I'm about 4 years late, but it's really great.
It's a fantastic game. It's great.
It makes me really excited for Dishonored 2. I'm pumped for that now. Other than that, I'm playing Monster Hunter Generations when I can.
I haven't grabbed to that yet. How are you liking it?
I really like it. It's the same problem with the other Monster Hunter games. The beginning is a slog, as it always is.
Yeah.
I heard they made it a bit more accessible at the beginning.
I think, yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, you for the most part, I kind of try to just blow past the single player stuff and just go right to the multiplayer stuff when I can. So I kind of ignore it because their story is just not there. But it is. You really need to endure a good 2 hours if you're new to it, playing the tutorial missions and just gathering and understanding the importance of materials and stuff. And it's definitely kind of a tough sell the first couple of hours, but as always with Monster Hunter, once you get past that, if you really enjoy just better and better gear and really fun boss fights, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing is it doesn't sound fun when you're describing it, but then you're like, I need that fucking Rathalos so that I can have the best gear ever.
Yep.
It becomes all about that. Yeah,
it really is. And then obviously all the monster fights are just so well designed, and I really like that there's no health bar for the monsters, so you're kind of looking at visual cues, and it feels like a real hunt on certain points, and it really shines in multiplayer when you're playing with a couple of friends. It's really fun. I love it.
Kill monsters wear their skin as a hat, I believe is
there's nothing better than getting 3 carded by one monster a few times and then finally beating him and wearing his skin as armor. And just respect yourself.
It's an ultimate show of dominance, really, over that bastard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I'm really, really enjoying it. So,
God, I wish those games would come back to actual home consoles. It's just you put them on the shittiest platform you could. And I know why you did it, because Japan fucking loves their Monster Hunter cafes and their portable Monster Hunter, but God, the potential for those games that we saw, even with with the Wii U version of Monster Hunter 4 and the Wii version of Monster Hunter Tri. It's Jesus, this is what these games could be if you didn't put them on the least powerful hardware that exists. It's such a shame.
Playing Monster Hunter makes me really want... God, what was the name of that RPG that Capcom came out with a long time ago? Dragon's Dogma. Because Dragon's Dogma had boss fights that reminded me of Monster Hunter, but with an open world single player story. And
the best intro song ever.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Which is no longer in the game, I believe, right?
I don't know. I haven't played the PC version.
It's not. They removed it.
That's unfortunate. But Dragon's Dogma 2 with more monster hunting fighting mechanics would be awesome.
It might happen. It was extremely successful with their PC port. They sold way more than they expected. It's like, man, it's almost as if like this kind of open world Western style RPG is popular on PC, and you probably should have released it there in the first place, right?
I mean, maybe, yeah, you probably should have.
It was like when they didn't release Dark Souls initially, and people were like, "No, seriously, we will buy a shitload of Dark Souls," and they're like, "Nah, you won't." It's like, "Yes, we fucking will."
And then they do it, and the PC port's still crap. But
It did, and it still sold millions of copies, regardless of the fact it was crap. So it didn't
it took
matter.
a modder one day to fix it, though.
Yeah, it did. God, it was one of the worst ports of all time, but thank fuck they were able to fix that, and the versions after that were better. But it's amazing just how clueless some companies can be sometimes when just like not realizing that there's a huge audience for them sitting right there.
Right in their face, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it's down to Japan, obviously not really having much of a PC gaming culture outside of, you know,
Japan.
indie stuff
Stupid Japan.
Stupid Japan.
with the phones.
Other than that, I've been playing Starbound release version, which is great so far. Really enjoying it.
Yeah, Strippen's been playing a ton of that as well, Dodger, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's actually really, really liking it. They made the mistake of starting off with hardcore characters, and then immediately were like, "Wow, this was such a terrible choice." Because I guess the story mode of that game is like 200 hours long or something.
yeah.
Wow.
So it was like, you're not going to be able to live through it. Like, just create a survival character. Don't bother making a hardcore character.
I don't
do-
know why anybody ever makes hardcore characters in games. Like, I really want to waste my time. No, why would you? No.
It's the thrill, TD.
Diablo,
Thrill.
the thrill in Diablo is
Fuck
great.
your thrill. You know what's
Yeah,
thrilling?
I'm with
Having
you
extra
on this.
hours in your life. That's
Oh, I
good.
know, because we've had this exact same fucking conversation.
Yes, we have. Yeah, comes up every time.
Yeah, I get my thrills by robbing banks, not making fake characters in video games.
But once they're gone for real.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They're
You
gone
know,
forever.
do something with less consequences.
yeah. I do coke, pussy.
Koken is so lilt.
It's lilt as fuck.
It's totally tropical taste.
Lilt. It's lit as fuck.
I can't wait to drink some lilt.
I'm surprised how much content Starbound has. It is a lot of shit to do, and I haven't played it since like 2013. And there's just
Well,
so much shit to do in that game.
Oh yeah, there's like so many planets you can potentially visit, right?
There's
Like
this
your home
colony.
base is
You can build a colony and do colony management. There's like a farming simulator in there. You can upgrade your ship and manage a crew. Like there's a story. That's this.
I guess that's what happens when you have, like, you know, over 3 years of early access. I remember when we initially picked it up, when it first came out in early access, like, yeah, this is
nothing to do.
lacking content. But honestly, it is, I think, an early access success story, even though people were whining when it first came out that it was lacking content. It's like, well, dude, if you're going to buy into early access, you have to expect that.
Yeah, I still think that they probably went into early access a little too early. I understand they were following the momentum of the game. People were like super excited.
They
so
absolutely were, yeah.
They were like, let's go on there. But when you realize they're just kind of going to planet, and they're all very like pastel palette swaps of one another, there wasn't much there. But it's if you were interested in it before but hadn't touched it since, I highly recommend diving into it now. It is a wildly different game, and I'm loving it.
How would you compare it to Terraria?
I mean, I have more hours in. It's hard to compare right now because I'm still too early in the game to really say it has just as much content as Terraria. I think gameplay-wise, it's obviously similar, but I think it's unfair to compare the two when Terraria has years of just content patched into it when Starbound is at 1.0. It's different, obviously, because you don't have just one world, and the progression in that world is as much as you want. You're planet hopping, and each planet is different, and there's like all these other aspects of the game. But I don't think I'm far enough to be like, hey, this is better than Terraria, or this is just a different flavor of Terraria. I might not know for like another week. But I like it.
I've heard things that it's inventory management simulator 2016 in many ways. Have you had
Isn't
issues
that what
with that?
Terraria is, though?
Yes. I think Terraria just added a feature in which lets you auto-stack to nearby chests or something, because inventory management in that game was exactly.
We need that.
Inventory management in that game was always a pain in the ass, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to go
so
back
far
to
I like it.
Starbound now, because it looks like there's so much in there now.
I
versus what was
prefer
in.
that sci-fi theme anyway. So even if there's not as much content as Terraria, I may have a bias towards that because star hopping is exciting to me.
I feel like I would prefer, because Terraria, I always hit a wall where I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I feel like Starbound would be nice because you have like a base that you go back to, right? It's not like I have to create my base. It's like you start with a ship. Like you have your base.
You have a ship, right? And as you go along and gather crew, your ship gets bigger and bigger and you can modify your ship. And there's a hub world you can go to at any time where there are side quests and things you can buy. So if you want a more focused experience, there's the hub world plus the main story plus the ship, which is your base that just goes wherever you go.
Right.
So there's a lot there.
Yeah.
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 And the last thing I just started playing, and then I'll stop talking, is We Happy Few.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So
Just came out
that
early
game
access.
is very different from what we all thought it was going to be.
We Happy Few is really disappointing so far. Because it's a roguelike hardcore survival game.
Yep.
That has a 15-minute narrative focused narrow opening that is incredibly promising. And you're like, this is a cool world where you take these pills and like the world is full of color and there's maybe something weird going on that your character's starting to discover and like, oh shit, what's going to happen? What actually happened in this world? You realize like the newspapers that you're working on are like 20 years out of date and you're just starting to realize that this world is not what it seems to be. And then after that 15-minute intro, you're like, all right, time to manage your thirst, your hunger, your sleep, food poisoning. This world is randomly generated every time you play. It's permadeath and have fun. And I'm like, wait, all that interesting stuff is gone. And now I have to manage this shit. I don't want to play a survival game. I thought this was going to be a focused narrative game.
Yeah, I think everybody expected it to be a narrative game. I'm not like gonna. It makes a whole lot more sense why they were willing to be like, we're gonna release this game in early access. Because I was like, early access on a narrative game? That sounds ridiculous. But the fact that it's like a randomly generated survival experience makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, the thing is that the problem, I think, was the E3 trailer. Because actually, before the E3 trailer, it was fairly clear that that's what was going to be.
Absolutely, yeah. Having played it numerous times, that's always what it was.
Yes.
The trailer, here's, I think, the biggest problem of what you're seeing is that because it's early access, there is, in fact, a story, and there is a through line that goes through the entire thing. Not even in early access.
Not in it.
Not in the current version you're playing.
And that's kind of what I figured is the problem, because they're pushing very heavily like, this is a preview build, this is an idea of what the gameplay is going to be like, this is not the finished product. So I assumed that it's missing a lot of story narrative elements.
There's
story
right now.
There's a lot that's missing.
Yeah, there's basically the intro and like the first part of like maybe whatever character story you're playing, and I get that, and I'm totally okay with that. My issue is that the survival elements don't feel like they mesh with the world and what they're going to do. Like the story is going to be exciting, but the last
did you find quests and things?
Yeah, there are quests, and one of the things I hate doing is like, oh, I've got this quest, cool, I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna sneak into this house. Oh wait, I have to deviate from my quest now because my character's gonna pass out and he's hungry and he's thirsty. I'm gonna have to go find the nearest safe house, which could be anywhere nearby or the one that's like a mile away where I started at. And that just breaks the flow for me and kind of pulls me out. If there was maybe lighter survival elements where maybe I'm just managing thirst and hunger, like take away the sleep aspect and maybe I'd be having a better time with it. But I don't like the constant focus on the top left of the screen and watching these meters go up and down and managing that. And there's also like dirty bandages and clean bandages. So I think I'm gonna have to manage like infection levels and all that.
Right.
I'm just like,
the water can be dirty or clean.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Clothes can be torn suits or ripped suits or like new suits, and depending on where you're at, if you're like in a scummy section of town, if you're in a new suit, people are like, "What the fuck?" And if you're in a dirty suit, and they're like, "Oh, there's a million things in this game," but it never had story mode until this past E3. That was a non-existent part of this game, and then that came out, and I was like, what?
So that also concerns me because every time you die, you have to start over. So how long is the story going to end up being? And what if I die halfway through the story and I have to do all that shit again? Mm-hmm. Is that going to be something that's going to be Like,
I
is there gonna be
assume-
on that?
I assume that hardcore characters is going to be like an option.
Okay. I hope so. I do. I hope
I
so.
have to
I mean,
wonder, if the
right?
game is a survival game, will it?
Actually,
I mean,
there
If
might be.
there's a story,
Let me
I
boot up
just
the
feel like
game
it's
now.
unfair to force you into a hardcore character when you're trying to experience the story, and then you're having to redo the beginning over and over and over again just to like progress.
You don't have to, do you?
I think permadeath might actually be optional right now. Chad is saying. I'm gonna go look. I didn't
Yeah,
notice.
don't think it's not real. It's or not like a permanent. Like you don't start.
Nothing's
No, like when you die, as far as I remember, you just go back to your camp, your base camp, and then you have to start over.
I'm booting it up right now. I'm gonna take a look.
Yeah, there definitely isn't a. Yeah,
That makes more sense to me.
I've always
New game. Okay, cool. So here are the options I have on a new game right now. Second wind, so I can pass out and before dying. Permadeath is automatically on. You have to turn that off.
Right.
And then prologue, you can now skip once you go through it. Okay, so that makes it a little bit better. So permadeath is an option. All right, that's good. Turn that off. I would highly suggest turning that off.
Yeah, I don't. It's just it's definitely weird that's. I wonder what the general. I imagine if you're saying that, maybe like the general audience who played the game thought the exact same way, because I've never once thought that that's what this game was. Like having played it numerous times over 3 years, and it's like development cycle or 2 years, I guess. I've always been like, oh, it's survival.
It's purely because of E3. Because most of the people who were introduced to this game were introduced through that trailer. They actually had no idea about the game before that, so they made an assumption that it was, it's a Bioshock game, basically. It's a first-person sort of narratively focused Bioshock-esque kind of game. It's like, well, no, it's not. It's a survival game in a weird setting.
Yeah,
basically.
That's exactly what it is. It caught me off guard. I didn't know that that's what it was going to be until I got the code and checked it out. And I was like, oh.
It's closer to something like Sir, You Are Being Hunted than it is to Bioshock.
I made that exact comparison. Yeah, that's exactly how it feels to me, is a Sir, You Are Being Hunted type of deal with the story.
Yeah. And hopefully better than Sir, You Are Being Hunted.
Yeah, Sir, You Are Hunted was okay. It was just too long for me.
Yeah. I mean, some people will say, the trailer misrepresented the game. Well, no, that actual gameplay is from the game. It's just...
Is it trailer from the prologue, basically?
Yeah, it's a prologue.
The trailer's the prologue. Yeah.
Okay,
It's like,
gotcha.
it doesn't misrepresent it. It literally is in the game. It's just people made a massive assumption of what that game was going to be.
It kind of reminds me of that other game that was actually an RTS, but the demo and the trailer did not show that. The rock and roll game with
Brutal
Jack.
Legend.
Like that, yeah, that Brutal Legend. I remember the trailer and the demo being not what the game was.
I mean, a lot of it really is that a lot of games get story trailers and gameplay trailers and all sorts of different kinds of trailers. You can't...
Yeah.
If you judge a game based off one trailer, then that's kind of your own fault.
Yeah.
Because they do this a lot, but it does not misrepresent the game. It shows a part of the game. It's just that's not what the whole game is.
Correct. And
anyone would have known if they'd spent 5 minutes actually, researching it.
Yeah.
And people might say, well, that's bad marketing.
Sorry,
Really?
I just
Because it
played
got
it. I
you
just
fucking
jumped
talking
in.
about it, didn't it?
I didn't. Hey, man, I didn't pay for it. I'm playing it. I also think that it's maybe too early for the game to be out.
I'm curious.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Did
if
they
it was.
release it also on Xbox? Because I know it's an Xbox game.
Yeah, because they're doing that. They're doing that early access thing on Xbox now.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're calling it a preview build.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they're. I don't know. I don't know where I read this. I may not have read it. I thought I maybe did that. They're going to be in early access for about a year.
Yeah.
Is their plan?
I believe that's what they said. Yeah. Sounds about
Okay.
right, considering the content that seems to be in there right now.
Yeah.
Well, then there's the potential for it to be a lot better
In a year.
and a lot more of what you're looking for later on.
Mhm.
Because, if they can do that little bit they did with the story, then you imagine that the potential's there for something amazing down the line. So I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love the world. The world is cool as hell. Like, it's creepy and interesting, and I want to know more about it. I just don't want to have to eat rotten rats and puke all the time.
Well, I think
You don't eat the rats, dummy. You, Mathas.
I just grab rotten food and I shove it in my mouth because that's all that's around me
just
right now.
try to stay alive, right?
That's what I'm doing. It's like rotten food. I need it. My food meter is going down.
I feel like people who really love survival games though are gonna really like this change of scenery. Like playing a survival game in this kind of
Without
a setting,
a million
very
zombies.
different. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of potential there because those games are very popular, and that makes me more interested. Like on the flip side, that makes me more interested in playing a survival game at all because I'm interested in the We Happy Few universe.
Yeah.
So if they are able to add in more story stuff, that would just sweeten the deal, so to speak.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's an early access game, So if people are throwing their toys out of the pram and complaining, it's like, stop buying shit that isn't finished. Then it's not done yet.
I definitely say don't touch it yet. It's not ready for public consumption, I guess. But if you're interested in maybe helping them, as always with early access games, and giving feedback, that's what it's for. It's definitely not like a game. Like if you're looking for fulfilling gaming experience, you're not going to get it. Not yet.
Well, I mean, you just described every early access survival game ever. They're all released in this state, whether they be single player or multiplayer. It just happens that the multiplayer ones tend to have more legs because a lot of the enjoyment is generated by the people you're playing with. Whereas a game like this, you need to have that single player content in already.
Well, but like going back to that sort of demographic of people who love survival games, part of the enjoyment for them as well in participating in the whole early access experience is if the developers are constantly adding things and changing things, they get to be there for that ride too.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people do get a kick out of that. You're totally right.
For sure.
Just early access is not for general consumption. I don't know why there's been a assumption lately that it is, but it never was. It was never supposed to be.
I think a part of the problem is because when it hits early access, developers push for it. There's a lot of marketing behind the early access release to get people excited. So
yeah, totally. But ultimately, it is up to the consumer to research what a game is before buying it.
Yes,
right.
Give you that for sure. There you go. Other than that,
that's the whole Mathas experience.
I've been enjoying. I mean, I'm a big survival game player, so it caught me off guard, and I was more looking for something else. Again, I didn't do any research, but at the same time, I knew I was going to get a code, so I didn't have to put money into it, so I didn't have to worry about that so much. But it's fun, and I'm excited. I mean, we'll see where the game goes down the line and where it sits at. As far as that concerns, about a year.
Yeah, hopefully it's got potential. I mean, what I've seen up to this point, aesthetically, it looks nice. It looks like
very cool looking.
Real cool environment. Seems like it's got its whole theme down. The question is whether or not it is mechanically satisfying, and as you said, whether or not those survival mechanics gel with the rest of the game.
Yeah, like I know that my big issue with Contrast, their last game, was that it had a lot of bugs in it.
Yes.
So I'm kind of like, I'm cool with you guys throwing this in early access if it means that you're going to be consistently working on bugs as well as just the base game, so that by the time it actually comes out, it runs really well.
Because, I mean, Contrast could have been an excellent game. Like, it could have been like, we could have been talking about Contrast along with games like Braid and Limbo of like top tier indies. And as it stands, unfortunately, the way that it released, it ended up being quite buggy and not well received, which is a shame because the theme of that game, the music, the lighting, the characters, all top notch.
Great. Yeah.
Adam Jensen
was not.
He was the dad.
No, well,
he was the dad.
Well, yes, but no.
It was set in the Deus Ex universe.
Obviously, yes.
Did we not know that?
Look, just fact that voice actor will always be Adam Jensen in everything he's in. He was Adam Jensen. He was Adam Jensen when he was on that TV show he was in. He's Adam Jensen.
I never asked for this.
Fact.
Roger, what have you been playing this week? What's been going on?
I've played, I think, like 14 or 15 hours of I Am Setsuna.
Yes.
Where'd you get to?
Jesse has also played it. Hey, did you finish it, Jesse?
Did I finish the game?
Yeah.
Isn't it like
I'm only
100 hours
asking
long?
because you asked me how far I got as though you knew the entire story. So I was like,
Did I finish?
Go ham and finish that game.
Since I've been in London, I've been playing it like crazy. When I'm not walking around this, let me reframe it. When I'm being dragged around this city,
looking for noodle babies.
Oh my God. It's like death marches. It's like all day death marches. When I'm not doing that, I am sitting here at this wonderful laptop playing I'm Setsuna, and I have like I do things. Everyone who watched me stream, probably you did this too, where you just play, like you're just playing the game, right? But you're also aware people are watching you, so you have to make it entertaining and like keep moving ahead in the story.
Yeah.
The minute no one was watching me, I found every like grind spot in that damn game and was like, yo, let's just keep going. I am like level 40 something at the moment, and I just grinded through. Like I found a place where there's a really good spot and just went back to it like a million times. And when I spent 2 hours doing that, was like, yeah, JRPGs though, dog.
Yeah, I haven't been grinding a ton, but I've still been able to like progress through the story just fine. Everybody's saying that I'm like about to go to the Last Lands.
What is all right, so if you could, did you meet the old lady? Is that a weird thing to say? No,
I think I know which old lady you're talking about.
There's an old lady who's like we all forgot our memories. Is that where you're at?
Old lady who forgot all.
No, she didn't. Like you go to the town and everyone in the town's like, we all forgot our memories. Like,
oh yes, yeah. The old lady at the
where
top
you're
of
at?
the hill, the healer lady. Yeah.
Is that where you're at?
No, I'm way past that.
Oh, all right, then never mind. So I'm trying to figure out where you are.
Well, my chat was telling me.
Are you at the airship?
I have it.
Okay, then you're pretty much where I am. I literally like, yeah. All right, and so anyway, let's rewind. I Am Setsuna is the new Square Enix, like throwback, callback, sort of. It's
Final Fantasy X meets Chrono Trigger.
Pretty much, that's exactly what it is. The plot is just that, and it's a game that is super fun to play, and is a lot of it's a lot of just nostalgia built into it. I think it's one of those games where the music is amazing. Graphically, it's beautiful to look at, even though it's all snow, which I think is a weird choice.
Well, yeah, I thought that was interesting too. The longer I played, I was like, is this cool?
All snow, yeah.
In a winter world? Interesting.
I thought for sure we are going to hit like, because they were like, oh, this is the island. And then on the other islands, like, what? So are we going to go to those? Like, it's a weird, no, everything's winter. So I feel like that might be, I don't know, like something I'm not too fond of. They have some cool locales, but it's all snow. And I was like, all right.
They do the standard old school thing where it's like all of the monsters are just recolored versions of monsters you met before.
Here's my problem. If I did name my number one biggest problem with this game, it's that is true. They use that trope of all the monsters are reskins of things you've seen before. The problem is in this game, because it's like every other game out there, there are special, like every other RPG, there's special monsters. And those special monsters give you special rewards, but they're also infinitely harder than...
They're like so hard to beat. Yeah.
The problem is, numerous times you will be in a dungeon, like even if you save right outside, you'll be in a dungeon. I've done a bunch of shit. You'll come across one of these monster packs, but because it's either a reskin or a very subtle change, you won't notice right away that is in fact one of the new dangerous types, and you'll just get destroyed. And you're like, well, that was 30 minutes gone now.
Why don't you use the fog item and get the fuck out of there?
Well, all right, here's a perfect example. There is one of the types. It's pretty early on, but it's these three foxes. And the three fox ladies look exactly like
the normal fox ladies.
There's no, I couldn't tell the difference. But when you kill them, they give you 3,000 XP, which at that point in the game, when you're like level 25-ish, is huge. That's like a free level. Like if you keep going back there, it's totally free. The thing is, when you fight them, they have a freeze ray. If they freeze all three of your characters, which they can do on turn one, game over. You just
it's like petrify kind of.
Yeah, and it's game, and it's like, wait, what? And then here's the thing: I figured out how to beat them. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna grind these ladies. And so if you bring two characters, their combo attack, because just like Chrono Trigger, where there's X Strike and Stone Sword and Bio Slash, and also like you can do all that stuff. Two of the characters, their ability instantly destroys them. I watched a video, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill these ladies. I went back. Did it once, got 3,000 XP. I was like, holy shit. Walked back out, because you can do it just like every JRPG. You go walk back in, go to fight them again, do the same ability, it misses. I'm like, wait, what? They freeze and kill me, and I'm like, no. So I go back, fight him
It
again.
certainly sounds like a classic JRPG to me.
It is. I go back, fight him again. Now it only does half the damage. I'm like, so literally, it's hit or miss with all these things. It's crazy, and so it's a grind plus bosses that sometimes are like, hey, fuck you for trying, and then all of that is then covered up with the most beautiful piano music you will ever hear.
Yeah. Music is great. I love the way that the characters look when you're just like walking around.
Yes, like visually it's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game to play, to look at all of it. But underneath all that, it's like, welcome to hell, bitch. It's a JRPG, and it's like, oh my God. But it's like a more modern day JRPG in that, Chrono Trigger and those games back in the day, if you just invested the time, you could stomp those games. This one's like, we added some challenges, and they added things I think are like the perfect Jesse edition, which was every attack can be like, if you just wait, every attack can be modified to like increase the damage by pressing X right before the character attacks.
Yeah.
And that gives you benefits like if you do sword slash, normally it's just a sword slash and your character slashes with the sword. But if you use the X button right before he attacks, it heals all your party members.
Yeah.
An amazing benefit. There's some abilities where it will lower the defense of the enemy, or if you do a bunch of other things, will add additional physical attacks, heals that heal one person, that will heal everyone, or give them a shield as well. All those things in there are just fantastic. And then they added in for loot assholes like me, little blinky things around the world. And if you just wander around, you can find them. And to make it worth your while, in towns, they're like, if you find me these 3 items lost in the world, I'll give you a recipe. And those recipes give you plus experience in combat. They give you like special buffs and things. And I'm like, oh, it's everything I ever wanted for exploring. It's a fantastic game. It's fantastic.
I know. I like it a lot too. And it does have a couple of things that hold it back. But I've enjoyed it. Though honestly, the thing that's bothered me the most is that there are areas where I think to myself, this is definitely a side quest, right? Like there's got to be something here, right? And I talk to everybody that's there, or there's like one person that's there, and it's this separate like little spot, and nothing happens
like
there.
The white fields are like in the game there's like a white, like a field, a snowy field, and there's one guy walking around and he's like, I like the snow, and you're like, what the fuck are you here for?
Yeah,
they're throughout the game. And then there's like a
sauna in the middle of nowhere, and there's an old man in there who's like, man, those weird temporal distortions, huh? And I'm like, what is this here for? What is this here for? And everybody in my chat kept saying, because I was like, how close am I to done? Because RPGs don't just finish in like 20 hours, right? Like if I'm taking my time, I shouldn't finish a JRPG in 20 hours. And everyone was saying, well, you're pretty close to finishing the story, but there's a lot more to do. And I keep walking around trying to figure out what those other things to do are, and I haven't found them yet. And I don't know if it's like a after the story situation or what.
I feel like this is one of those things where, not even mentioning spoils, I'm going to say like Final Fantasy VI. It's a very Final Fantasy VI game where there's an ending and then there's the second game. I'm wondering if that's what this is.
That's what I'm wondering too.
Because they already pulled that earlier in the game. And so I'm wondering if I don't know how far I am. I'm roughly where you're at. And I don't know where, like, there's a lot of stories that just have not been wrapped up as far as I'm concerned in the game. And I'm like, there's a lot of things I don't know the answer to. Mm-hmm. I better get that answer. So we'll see.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
If I had one word of advice for everyone who's watching right now,
don't name all your characters Setsuna.
Don't name every single character Setsuna like I did. I thought.
Why would you do something like that?
Because I thought the game is called I Am Setsuna, so I was like, I'm just gonna name everybody Setsuna.
I'm gonna name my character Setsuna. That won't make things confusing.
Because there are definitely points where the game's like, would you like to follow Setsuna or protect Setsuna? And I'm like, fuck! What does it mean? What
I'm the kind of person that takes all the food out of the packets and puts them in the same coloured jar. And then I complain that it's confusing and I have rice instead of beans.
God, it sounds exactly like me.
It does. It's incredible, really. I know you so well.
How good you are.
Can I ask you a question? Aside from you being the lamest human being who ever
Just the
lived,
worst.
Dodger.
Yeah.
Do you know that? So throughout I'm Setsuna, there are numerous points in the game where you are given choices, and many times
Don't matter.
Many times it seems those choices do not matter. Like many times you'll be in a conversation where stuff doesn't matter, but there's numerous points where it's like this character is wounded and it's a bad guy. Do you want to kill this character? And I'm like, well, one option is yeah, let's kill this guy, and the other option is no. And I'm like, wait, is this like one of those like things where later in this game this guy joins me kind of situations? Like I don't know if that's or if no matter what I do, it's like the rest of the choices in the game that are like, yo, it's fine, whatever, kill him.
Well, I mean,
And
you
then
just
everyone-
described like every JRPG for like 20 years.
Well,
Right,
that's
and
the
I don't
thing,
know-
right? Is that I totally know what Jesse's talking about. That it feels like the game is baiting you into feeling like no matter what you say, it's gonna be fine. But like,
there are choices
don't
that
worry,
that's
there
not
are some
true.
choices where you're like, frick. Like,
Yeah.
am I about to ruin everything? Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about because I've specifically because in the game you play this like this mercenary character. Like that's the person that you answer for whenever you're given a question. And every time somebody asks me a question, I try to give the douchiest answer because I think it's funny. And every time they're like, "Oh, you," I'm like, "Fuck!" Like they don't care. They don't care. But then, yeah, there are situations like that where I'm like, am I actually about to bone myself by choosing the douchey answer?
Well, that makes me wonder because I've been playing it like how I play most of my hero characters. Like, don't worry, I'll do whatever it takes to help the team.
Oh, no. I've done the opposite. And I bet you money we've had the same game. We played the exact same game.
I guarantee the thing that I'm interested in is the conversations. If I say something like one of the options, which is like, "No, F it, let's get out of here," they're like, "I didn't expect you to say that." I'm like, would that have been there anyway, or is that like because
Right.
I'm really
You know what? I've wondered that too, because since I always give the shitty answer, sometimes now later in the game, they've been like, "Oh, you. Always the literal person," or as much tact as always. And I'm like, oh, do they know? Are they starting to realize I'm a shit stain?
Yeah, I feel like what 90% of this game is false choice, and then maybe like one or two really important ones.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't know what those are. So every time it's like, this character we should spare, or should we go help them or go help this other character? I'm like, yo, let's do all the things that we can do. Let's just go. I don't know. I don't have a clue. And then all the characters are like, we knew you'd say that. Like, what does that mean?
The game is deliberately fucking with your ability to power game it because the developers are like, fuck you. Because I know you're the kind of guy, you're the kind of player who's going to try and figure out the goddamn optimal choice, the logic behind the game.
Yes,
You're not going to get immersed in it. You don't care about the role playing. You're just going to pick the optimal choice, blah, blah, blah. And that's exactly why they put the shit in there, to fuck with you on purpose.
I mean, that's how I RPG though. So
Yes, exactly. And they know that.
Optimally.
They know it.
But it's a game that is. I think the thing that I'm starting to discover, I don't know if you notice this too, is it feels like a JRPG, but a JRPG that either didn't have the budget or decided purposefully not to have like a million side things.
Yeah.
Like you blow through that story so quickly, and I'm like, oh, all right. I think you're right in that. I don't know if it's the end. Like, I don't know where I'm at in relation to like the ending.
Yeah.
And if it is the ending, I'm gonna be super pissed. I'll be like,
Same. That's how I feel too. And that's why, like, when my chat was going, I mean, you've still got plenty to do even after the story's done. I'm like, what does that mean though? Like, what does
Yeah.
plenty to do mean?
I mean, that's not a like.
You didn't get all the recipes, so you got plenty
Yeah.
left to do. I'm like, fuck off. No.
Well, yeah, if it's not meaningful, useful content, then no, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the JRPGs this game is supposed to be like taking you back to. The way those worked is you get to a certain point in the game, then it's like, hey, do everything else there is to do before
Yes,
this
yeah.
ends. And then the game ends. The game has a finite ending. And
Right.
that would drive me crazy if that's not true.
Yeah, somebody just said in chat, maybe the choices don't affect the gameplay, but maybe everything you're doing goes into a naughty boy edgy pot that will affect your ending. I'm like, I like
Pulling the
that.
good old Fallout
I like the
2
idea
right
that
there,
maybe
yeah.
I've been slowly putting quarters into my naughty jar. So that at the end, they're like, well, you were a fuck. So here's your ending. I'm like, no!
Perfect. All games should have that. All games should be Fallout 2.
I want a
where it's
naughty
like,
Naughty pot?
yeah, literally everything you ever did is recorded and logged, and then at the end it reminds you of how much of a fuck you were.
So YouTubers.
Like real life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I will say that you can tell the quality of like a JRPG by how quickly you will have the battle theme stuck in your head. About 5 minutes into the game, it will be in your head for weeks. It's like the music is so good in this game. So
Isn't it all piano?
It's all piano. But it's whoever the artist is a genius. Whoever made the music, it all like you forget it's all piano. That's how good it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've really enjoyed it. It sounds like Jesse's really enjoyed it.
That's
Seems
all
like
I played.
something that you would be
All I
playing
played
if you were into old school JRPGs back when you were a lot younger. I mean, to me, it's not in any way appealing. But I can see that's I'm not the market for it. It was clearly marketed towards people. It's like, hey, kids, did you like Chrono Trigger? Did you like Final Fantasy VI? Well, Chrono Trigger? Well,
Yeah, I don't know that
this
it
game
is
for you.
even like geared towards kids game.
No. It's geared towards people who were kids
Yeah.
when those JRPGs 20 years ago came out and are now grown up. It's like, hey, you want to revisit this kind of experience again? You want another game like this?
Yeah, especially considering there are 0.0 light topics in this game. Like it is literally about just like death. That's all the game. Like that's the story.
Yeah.
You're like, there's no like silly side quest where you go to the fair. Like it's non-existent. Like the whole journey is like, yo, this is just about like one character dying. So let's like go do that.
Adventure.
Adventure.
There you go. That is I Am Satsuma. A game about fruit.
Satsuma.
Satsuma.
Sat. There's no P in Satsuma. God, you heathen bastards. Don't you know you're
Sorry.
fruit?
Oh.
Sorry.
Don't even know why I even have you on the show.
There's a little boy in it, a little elf boy. I don't know what the hell he is.
They've
There
got my
is.
attention.
He's cute, and
He's
Is he
like
also a
he's
fruit?
He's like a part monster boy.
yeah,
And his hair looks like cat ears.
A fruit
A
monster?
plus.
I was gonna say, okay, got it.
and he don't give a shit. He got all the magic power. He's like,
Yeah,
"I
he don't give a fuck.
They're like, no, if you have all that magic power, you won't live to be
Don't
like
spoil
100.
it!
We're going to take a break. When we come
spoiled.
back, more of the Co-optional Podcast and games we've been playing this week. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optional Podcast. We've got a few more games to talk about, I think. Jesse, you seem eager.
Sorry, we're way off track in this chat. I'm sorry. We got caught up in some crazy shiz.
Okay.
I have another game that I was playing.
Okay.
Yes, please.
It's a super chill 99-cent puzzle game called Hook.
Okay.
It's very like peaceful feeling. It's literally just lines that are all hooked together and you have to figure out which order to unhook them in. And eventually it gets like more complex. Like you have little dials to turn to figure out which hook you're unhooking and stuff like that. Describing it is a little bit hard. Feel like if you're able to find a video of it, TB, that would be easier. But it's like you have all.
Finding Hook on YouTube, that should be really easy.
It's on Steam.
Oh, here we go. Actually, yeah, it used to be an iOS game about a year ago, apparently. There's literally one video on the whole of YouTube about it, so I found that one video. Very minimalistic by the looks of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really nice game. I don't know. There are like all of these orbs that you try to click in order, and it introduces new ideas to you in a really nice, simple way. I found myself just spacing out and playing it for like an hour. I was just like,
So that more of a kind of Zen game.
yeah, it's very Zen, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm watching the gameplay and trying to figure out what exactly it even involves.
So the orbs are like are what you click in
Okay.
order to pull the lines in.
Right.
And at the point that chat is seeing right now, it's like very, very simple. And eventually they start to like hook together. Like
Okay.
they're kind of like hooks in the lines. And so you have to do them in a certain order so that they don't bang into each other.
Okay.
And yeah, eventually there's like a bunch of lines that are all hooked together and you have to do them in a certain order and stuff.
Basically glorified maze by the looks of it.
Yeah, kind of. I like it though. It's simple, you know?
That's
Yes,
interesting.
Jesse's impressed. I can tell.
I mean, whatever. It's 99 cents, so
It's 99 cents. It's just like a simple therapeutic
yeah.
puzzle game. So played that for a while.
I just want to point out the angle of this camera. Like, this looks huge.
It does. I thought it was a big bottle of water.
Much larger bottle than you should, I think.
I desperately want. This is when I finally release dick pics. This is the camera I'm going to use.
You know the angle and the camera in which to use now.
Look at that thing.
I mean,
yeah.
you know what angle to make sure that dick is going into your mouth.
Forced
now.
perspective.
Click, click, click.
Yeah, man, that is. Look, ladies.
And then for something that's not as therapeutic, I played Crush Your Enemies,
You
which
seem to have some issues with that.
I really, you know what? I really, really liked it for the first, because you play it in chapters,
Yes.
right? So the first chapter is literally just taking territory and building up an army that's big enough to take over other armies.
Yeah.
That's mostly what it is. And I was able to play all of those levels and really enjoy them, and played through that entire chapter. The second chapter is when they add in a few more like RTS elements, which I thought was interesting. Like they added in, you have to gather food and you have to gather wood in order to build those spots that you use to make your armies in
Certain
and stuff.
kinds
So
of units, yeah.
it starts incorporating, like mineral gathering basically and stuff like that. But that's when it got really frustrating for me, because I guess originally it's an iOS game, which I didn't know, because I had played this game at E3 on PC.
It was a simultaneous release across both.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. So then that makes me not forgive it as much as I was willing to forgive it. It's really, really hard to select a specific number of units, because you click on a group of units and it'll give you like a pretty small number of those units, half of those units, and then all of those units. Yes. And you have like a little skull that you can pull dial style to be like, okay, well, I want like 10 of those, but you have to take a second to be like, I want 10 of these, but it's an RTS. So the computer is like, all right, so I'm sending 5 guys over here, 5 guys over here, 10 guys over here. Like it's just happening automatically. And meanwhile, I'm like, I want 5 of these guys and I want 5 of these guys. So I wound up having to do this really janky system where I'm like, okay, I'm going to select all of these guys, split them in half, then split that in half again, then split that in half again, and then send them all out, because that's the faster way to do it. So that wound up being really obnoxious to me. I wanted to be able to just StarCraft style, like just drag, right? Just click and drag and select a few of them and be like, you go that way.
Yeah, not that you could do that on, well, I mean, you could do it on iOS. It would just be tricky. I mean, bear in mind, this is a game where all of the action takes place on one screen.
Yeah, it's not, you don't have to like move around on a map.
No,
it's
you don't.
all like on a static screen, which I love, so that I don't have to worry about that. I'm not ever worrying about missing something. If I did miss something, it's because I wasn't paying attention, right? It's not because it was off the map. So I like that, but I hate that it's so, that it favors the computer so much when you're trying to micro, I guess.
I mean, it seems like the game was designed around being kind of imprecise about the number of units you're sending around.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a hotkey, though, that could maybe be used for that.
That's what I was wondering.
I didn't notice it when I played it, but I played it for about an hour.
There are hotkeys for the items. Like there are extra items you can use. But that's it.
That's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, because it reminds me of These, I call them like node-based strategy. I'm trying to think like the biggest example of it was Galcon, I think, was a very popular iOS game, which is like, this is a strategy game, but for mobile. And what we really mean by that is there's a bunch of planets, and you literally throw like 100 ships at this one, 100 ships at that one, and the only movement really is you move this fleet from this planet to this planet in kind of like a sort of web. And Crush Your Enemies has elements of that, but it allows you to take over pieces of territory. So it's actually like based on a grid of squares, and either you own the piece of the square or they own the square, and you have to take over the square in order to move to the next one. So that's what limits you from just running your army to the other side of the map and just taking all their shit over.
Yeah, which is that's kind of how this game works too. Where like you are. Any territory that's orange is yours. Any territory that's green is theirs. And if you run onto green territory, you have to take a minute and like
to take over that piece. And
take over that square. Yeah. And
the way the node-based
faster
stuff,
depending on how many dudes you send and things like that.
Yeah, the way that a lot of the node-based games worked is that they just designed the levels in such a way that in order to get to the enemy's thing, you'd have to go through a bunch of different nodes to get there first, because that was the only one that connected to this one, and so on and so forth. It seems like they try to get away from that a little bit with this. But I mean, I played a bit of it. I wasn't hugely enamored by it, but I was hoping for maybe a bit more strategy in it. I know it's like, hey, we're going to make it a bit more simple. But I never liked those node-based strategy games where it literally was just get a bunch of numbers and throw them at the other dude. And to take over this node, then take over this node. I never found that particularly entertaining. But I know this has got more units, and hearing that it's actually got like resource management and stuff actually makes me more interested to keep playing it to get to that bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't tell if, since this is a game type that I'm not typically very good at, I can't tell if my gripes with it are
or if you're just awful. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, legitimately. If I
have that problem too.
The sort of issues that I have with this game are legitimate. But it felt very frustrating for me to try and figure out, like, I just want 5 units. Can I just select 5 units without it taking me like 10 seconds? Because that's 10 seconds I don't have. I'm trying to take down this army. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's what
interesting.
I thought. Also, the AI is really stupid sometimes. There was a level where I needed to collect 60 food as like an extra goal, and the other army was literally just killing itself. Like, it would just send the entire thing at me, and I would win. And then the level would be over and be like, well, you didn't get the 60 food. And I'm like, those
fucking
silver live long enough for me to collect 60 food. So
I hate that, because it's like they have a 3-star system, and they also have, you can't go to the next bit on the map until you have X number of stars. It's like, that's a very mobile thing. I hate it when they do that.
Right.
Especially when they attach them to dumbass fucking little sub-objectives. One, you can never remember what the damn sub-objectives are, and secondly, it's like, you failed that by 0.1 second, better do that again. It's like, I would rather delete you, actually, if you're gonna keep pulling that shit on me.
I actually didn't know that that's the system it had, because I decided at the very beginning, like, we're going to get all the skulls every time before we move on.
Which is why you never notice it, because you had the maximum number, so you'd never be stopped. But, I mean, I don't do that. So I'm like, okay, if I got the sub-objectives, cool. But then I ran into a wall that said, you didn't get enough sub-objectives. You don't have enough skulls to get to the next level. I'm like,
you're like, fuck you.
Fuck you, Angry Birds. I hate that system so much. It's like, the whole point of those objectives is they're supposed to be optional.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They cease to be at that point.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
So
let's crush.
I really loved the first chapter. The second chapter I've had a lot more problems with. But I'm curious whether or not in each chapter they add in more RTS elements. Like, I'm not sure what they would add next, but the fact that I played for a decent number of hours and then it was like, all right, so now maybe gather food and wood. I was like, oh, okay.
It's interesting they took it that long to introduce that. That's fairly basic stuff.
It's weird.
Intriguing. You remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about a game called Headlander. It actually is out now. Have you had a chance to play that yet?
Yes. I didn't get to, I messaged them being like, yo, if you wanted to give me a code, that would be fine. And they didn't. Like, fuck, I want to play it so bad.
I hear it's great so far. That's what I've been hearing.
I hear you can buy it.
Yeah, here you can buy it.
Look, I was asking them before it was out, okay? I was trying to throw my non-existent weight around and it didn't work.
Not known for your PR contacts, apparently.
No, I am not.
Yeah, I played about an hour of it so far. Yeah, it's really good. It reminds me of Double Fine games when they used to be finished a long time ago.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, it's the reason this one's finished, by the way, is because it was funded by Adult Swim. You know, they literally just, you know, they paid for the game to be made, they published it. So it's a very sort of standard developer-publisher agreement. Turns out when Tim Schafer is not responsible for the finances, games actually
Shit
get
gets
fucking
done.
done.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Yep, incredibly. I got through the bit that I did at PAX, which was the intro bit, and I'm on to the next bit, which is I'm on some psychedelic pleasure station of some sort, and I'm taking over robot bodies that can't really do much because they're like not designed to. They're not combat bodies. So I tried to do my dodge roll on this robot in a skirt, and she just kind of flopped on the floor. I was like, that was kind of neat. But it is a Metroidvania-style game set in a sort of 70s B-movie sci-fi setting. Actually, maybe even 1950s for the most part. You know, ray guns and big helmets and stuff. Adult sense of humor, you know, again, it reminds me of Archer in Space. A lot of dick jokes. You know, the escape pod is a penis, there's no doubt. There's plenty of stuff like that in there.
Can I the only review I've ever seen of this game so far, I think is very funny. The headline was, "It's not the funniest game, but it's all right." What? I guess that's like the Double Fine thing is it needs to be funny. I would prefer it needs to be good.
Yeah, let's just go with good, because I mean I can think of quite a few Double Fine games that were good that were not focused on being funny.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very weird.
Dodger talks about it in Adult Swim games on Twitter immediately. Hey, Dex Bonus, we'll give you a Headlander code.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
They actually do listen to the show, so that helps. But.
What's up? I think you guys are super pretty. I don't hold it against you that you didn't write me back.
Don't give it anything. She doesn't deserve it.
She does.
I totally do, though. I'll remember this forever.
She's been complaining all day, sending us all messages like, "Did you guys get a code? I didn't get a code." We're like, "What?"
She wouldn't shut up about it. We're like talking about something entirely different, and she just keeps bringing up Headlander. I don't know why it is, but basically the way the game plays is it's a kind of Metroidvania style game where for some reason your head's been taken off. Don't know how the fuck that happened. That's unfortunate, but it turns out you can land it on robot bodies and take control of them. And those different kinds of robot bodies have different kinds of abilities. So you are able to, you know, the most basic one is, oh, you want to get through the red door? You need to be a red robot. And then the door complains at you because you're not the precise shade of red that it wants, so you have an argument with it, which is great. And the different bodies have different abilities. You can fly off and you can suck the head off another robot using a vacuum to take it to steal its body. And all that kind of thing. There's a bunch of different abilities to unlock, which again will fit into the Metroidvania style of doing things. And it has a really cool sort of adult sense of humor. We're based in a kitsch, retro, cheesy sci-fi world. I'm digging it quite a lot so far. I think it's really cool.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we did play? Are we allowed to talk about? I think we are.
What?
The new Guns of Icarus? Are we allowed to? We dicked around with those.
I don't know. Are we allowed to talk about that?
It comes out next week.
Usually they have embargo dates on
we
that.
Didn't sign shit.
All right, well, you didn't sign shit. You can say whatever the hell you want then.
Yeah, we didn't sign shit.
Look, if you didn't sign anything, then go for it.
Yeah, we just played for like shits and giggles.
Guns of Icarus Alliance is the name of it, right?
Yeah, Guns of Icarus Alliance.
I kickstarted that, I think.
Yeah, Guns of Icarus Alliance. I think all of us, I know Dodger especially because she voiced it. We're like, oh, so it's like you play with your friends and instead of playing against another group of players, you play against the computer. We thought it was gonna be like 3v, you know, like that kind of thing where it's like the same usual shit, but just like it's not that at all. It's their missions. And there's like a VIP where you have to like go through this trench area and all these guys are shooting at you. There's
lots of different types of goals.
There's biplanes now and little like bombers that attack you, and some of them crash into your ship, which causes all sorts of problems. There are giant like battle cruisers now. There are multiple factions, and like you join factions, you fight over a map area, and there's all like it's basically PvE Guns of Icarus, and it's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's super fun. There are 4 different difficulties. We tried out a difficulty called Hell, and did really bad. They were like, Hell is actually really hard, guys. Maybe we shouldn't do this. And we were like, Hell, let's do it. And then immediately,
not me. I was
Why
like,
is everything on fire?
Yeah. It was
true. Jesse was the only one who was like, I don't think we should do this.
And we got destroyed. But like, it is one of the things we did was you had to go around and destroy certain points, and then at the end, like, this big boss ship appears. You have to fight it while trying to blow up this like refinery, which is pretty cool. And there was 3 ships involved, and so like it was us and the devs, and we were just dicking around. And then one is like a VIP thing where you have to go and like escort a VIP through this area while guys are trying to kill him. If the VIP dies, you lose. Like, that's it. But you can die. Yeah, but you can die a bunch. So like if you just like get in the way, that's pretty cool. Then there's one where it was like these ships have like they keep stealing oil from a refinery, and you have to go not only take the oil but then get it to a refinery before the refineries blow up as you keep passing. So like it eventually gets harder and harder and harder to win. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. They introduced, there's new ships now. There's like new ships, new guns, new looks for your people.
Yeah, we were on a ship and I was like, oh no, because I'm an engineer. So the whole time I was like, I don't know where anything is. Like, running around randomly, like, I hope I learn where everything is as soon as possible because we're already getting hit by shit.
Yeah, man, it was a ton of fun. I was super impressed, and I couldn't, like, this isn't even like one of those paid brand deal things. This is just like,
you've been paid multiple times by Guns of Icarus.
That's, I guess that's
but
true.
not this time, right?
No,
Not this time.
No, not this time. And so this was like we just played for fun, and it's exactly what it was. Like, they were like, do you guys want to come like dick around with this and like help us test it? And we're like, yo, sure.
Sure, dog.
And it was up to
great.
16 players in it. Like, you can have up to 4 ships crewed by 4 people each. You can also play the damn thing in single player, although I can't imagine that would be as much fun. The whole point of Guns of Icarus is to yell at people.
Yeah. It was. I think the thing that we didn't really get to see that I'm curious about is that like they have a world map now, and the world map has factions, and there are 3 in the game at the moment, but there's going to be 4. And
No, there's more than 3.
Was there?
Yeah.
Oh, so then maybe it's 4 and they're going to be 5. There was 1 missing. That's all I remember. Mm-hmm. And each one controls like an area of this map, and you're fighting to like take points and then capture new lands and like get new missions. And I was like, this is super dope. Like we didn't get to do any of that because we did like special like games that we made, whatever those are called. But
Custom
I don't know.
games?
It was
Private matches, whatever.
Thank you.
You probably not heard of this crazy mode here, but
yeah, it's too new. Private matches. So
Yeah.
we did that.
Super private.
It was cool. I was really excited. I'm excited to see what happens because I've always said like the best part about that game is being like, hey gang, want to go blow shit up and be awesome sky pirates?
Yeah.
And and seeing that you don't have to be like do that head to head. I always feel bad like if I get my ass kicked by another group of players or I do the ass kicking. So I'm like, I just wanted to like fly around and murder things. And now that's literally what you can do. And I think that's awesome.
They also have a mode called Skyball.
They do. And it's
like soccer, but with airships.
Yeah, but with airships. It's super hard to explain and was ridiculously fun. And at one point, Krendor left us.
Oh god, of course.
Oh my god, Krendor pulled a Krendor, which anybody who has ever just casually played games with Krendor will totally know exactly what that means. We took a break. I was like, I need to pee really fast. We all went to pee really fast, came back. The game started, and we were like, where the fuck is Krendor?
Krendor's just standing there in the middle of the ship. We're like, Krendor, where are you at? And he literally comes back and goes, I want to go get a Pokemon.
It was gone for 30 fucking minutes. We were
fuck's sake.
What?
That's awesome. Oh, that's the best.
So we're flying around undercrewed, getting blown away by all these guys trying to fight. We managed to score once. I don't even know how. Like we're just
one man down.
We're like, we can't do anything. And Josh is running around the ship trying to put everything back together. I'm like, Krendor, where are you? And he just shows up. He's like, hey.
Like, hey guys, I caught a Scyther. Like, fuck off. And then, no, what was even better is that then we like start, doing our thing and working as a team. I go up onto the bridge because I need to get to the balloon, and Krender's just standing there again. And I was like, did you leave again? And he was like, oh, sorry, I was catching a Pokemon. I was like, stop it. Put your fucking phone away. I'm going to kill you.
Literally every match was like, do I have time to go get this Pokemon? I'm like, no, you don't have time. We're literally seconds away from starting a match. You don't have time to get a Pokemon.
Oh my God.
Oh, I just kind of want his avatar to be standing there while everything's on fire, just being like,
oh, it was. Oh, we died.
That was our real life.
If you're looking for someone who's
Guys, hold on,
reliable in any area of life, Krendo would not be high up that list.
Well, thankfully, this wasn't like the usual things where it was like a Polaris like mega death tournament where it actually mattered.
It's like, yeah, we're paying you a ton of money to do this. It's like, it just doesn't show up or whatever. To be fair, we should not blame Krendo for that because he is not the guy that was no-showing those events. Let me put it this way. Do enough of those Polaris events, you will hate 90% of YouTubers. It's like, hey, you're being paid a large sum of money. You should probably show up on time. It's like, yes, you... It's like, what? You don't know how to use TeamSpeak, okay? We're going to explain how to use that. Oh, you don't know how to record video. Right, well, this is your job, so I feel like this is something you should have some experience with.
Watching TB deal with other YouTubers is a real joy of mine. I don't know if you have noticed this, not sure, but I have to, like, mute myself from laughing. Because they're just like... how do you do this? And TB's just like,
It's a beautiful angry mama bear situation where he's like, I fucking hate you, but here, let me explain how you do this. Like, he helps them.
It's one of those things where it's like, how do you not know how to record audio and video separately? And they're just like, I've never done it before. And it's like,
people that are like, well, I record my audio through Fraps.
Yeah, great. That would explain why all of your collab videos have people with wildly different fucking volume levels. You know, it's like, oh, that's why we can't hear half of the people. That's why the in-game audio is so loud that you can't hear what anyone's fucking saying.
Oh,
it's
I've never been involved in that shit, so I just count myself as one of the blessed.
All these basic bitches, man. Seriously.
Basic.
But
they haven't even played the game before they show up for their many thousands of YouTube golds that are being given to them. It's like, oh yeah, well,
2 weeks to try this game out.
So how do I play this game? You're being paid thuzens, fucking thousands, for fuck's sake.
I'll never forget. As long as I live, I went. No names, but years ago, when I first started YouTube, I went to an event where it was like we were like being paid to be at this event, and the guy I was competing against was like, yo, so how do I play this? Dude, we are like here live. It is happening right now. It's like, all right, well, good. It was like Star Fox, like, good luck. Like, all right, have fun. I don't know what to do for you. And that happens all the time, which is hilarious to me. Like, how do you not know?
People get like weeks to play the game before you get to do it. And then
right?
That's why so many games companies now will be like, okay, so here's the day when you're going to record and do the thing.
Right.
We'd also like to schedule a day where you have to play the game. And we explain to you how to play the game so that you don't show up like an asshole and ask us all of these questions at the last minute.
Oh,
yeah.
You play video games for a living. Fucking do your homework.
There are many tales that could be told of Polaris collab events, and there are many reasons as to why I don't do them anymore.
Even outside of just like collab events in general,
not even
a lot of people like unless you know them, unless they're your friends, expect at least one or two to be like, so I've never played this before.
Well, that's what this was the other day. It was literally just like us being like, hey, do you want to do this? Like, okay.
But that was kind of the intention. It was like, you guys have played Guns of Icarus.
Yes.
Let's test out this new mode. So.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I'd like to think it'll be cool. I guess it comes out some point over the next week or so. I don't know when, but it's coming out soon. So I guess that was like
it's DLC for the original game by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Do you have to pay for it? I don't know that you do.
Well, yes.
Do you?
Turns out devs need money, but it's going to be $15 by the looks of it. And it'll be an add-on for Guns of Icarus.
What I played was worth $15, so...
Yeah, I would totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to play the PvE content.
Cool.
It's a good way to deal with the fact that that game has a very kind of fluctuating population. Like, it's totally playable, but a lot of the people you run into, especially if you're new to the game, I was like, we've got a ton of experience in this game. We played for like 1,000 hours. We're just going to fucking murder you. So being able to have that same experience, but PvE gets rid of a lot of that.
Oh, shit. Never mind. I forgot. I take everything I said back about me not being a sellout whore. They're going to be at CoxCon, so I can't really...
So, yes.
Really?
After all of this is actually a giant promo segment for one of his exhibitors.
Giant promo.
What
Absolutely
a dick.
massive promo. I forgot. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's one, insulting to the devs, and two, insulting to the audience. We insulted everybody today. Everybody.
I'm sorry.
He corrected himself.
Eventually.
It's late here. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
It's 10 p.m.
Just heard of this great new game, Guns of Icarus.
Link in the description, you guys would check it out. I have
Guns
no
of
involvement. I
Icarus.
don't
No
own this
affiliation
game.
with it at all.
They tweeted at me. They followed me. Might do something with them at
Hold on.
CoxCon.
Might do something with them eventually. I don't know. What do you guys
Hold
think?
on. Let me get my mansion / car in the background.
A public record. You know, my dog knew that we were involved with this game. My expensive pickup
Kissed him?
truck knew.
Have you met my dog, by the way?
Yeah,
She's
he's right
lovely.
here.
Let me bring her into the video.
Look, I'm sorry if you feel I wasn't clear enough. Like, I'm sorry if you didn't pay enough attention to realize this.
I feel like such a jackass now. I honestly, it didn't even like. I was like, oh fuck, that's right. Whoops. So yeah, giant ad. An ad for
Last
those
20
things.
minutes was a giant fucking ad. Enjoy that.
Apparently, yeah. My bad.
Very
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
but it wasn't intentionally supposed to be an ad. It just happened to become one
Accidental advertising.
accidentally. It's an accidental ad.
Look, I won't be at CoxCon, and I
Yeah,
liked
you played
it.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I've never been paid to play it ever, and I like the game.
yeah. So
We're
we're kind of on the level now.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Totally.
The FTC will
I have
love
to
us
make
now.
a video. I'll explain everything, guys. Don't worry.
Title it, I'm sorry.
It's just a picture of me rolling around in money. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's like your
I'm
purebred dog just
sorry.
shows up and shits in the corner and you don't edit it out. Because that's the contempt that you have for your viewers.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
God damn.
So your lawyers just
Anywho,
battering
TB, what have
down
you
your
been
door.
playing?
Fucking the best video game that none of you are willing to play with me.
I know. I already know what's coming.
Yeah.
Here we
Tell us
go.
about the ants, TB.
Yeah.
TB, how do you feel about the ants?
What did you say? Giant insects are coming. We should kill them with bullets. We should.
Yes.
Fucking Earth Defense Force continues to be great.
I wish I would have had time to play that with you before I left.
We'll get it done at some point. We'll definitely get it done. I didn't realize it actually supports 4-player co-op. Like,
That's
that's
awesome.
going to be even more ridiculous. It's already ridiculous enough. I was playing, like, Mission 9, which is of 90. Bear in mind, each mission also has 5 difficulty levels, so I was playing on normal, because you got to build your character up before you can do the harder difficulty levels, like, because it just gets insanely difficult if you don't have enough HP. And you've got to collect that by collecting armor pickups that permanently upgrade your character's health. And I was on this one mission, and actually, I wasn't paying attention. It was my own fault. I didn't pay attention to what the objective was. And I basically spent 20 minutes just killing infinite ants. Because there were these 3 giant ships in the sky that were just dropping ants, like, every 30 seconds. The actual goal of the thing was while they were dropping the ants, you were supposed to shoot them because they opened their, like, kind of ant-dropping tunnel, I guess.
Sure.
Yes, the ant-dropping tunnel that everything is equipped with in the future. And you had to shoot it in the ant-dropping tunnel. And eventually you shot it enough and the whole ship would crash and it's like half the size of a city, which is kind of great when you see that fucking thing coming down your head. That's hilarious. Those are tiny little scout ships, by the way. The game gets more ridiculous from there. And I just kind of sat there in this kind of zen, just farming ants. Just killing...
Farming ants.
Just killing ants.
In the most violent way possible.
Just piles of them. Like, and they were piling up as well, because if you don't actually blow the corpses up, they kind of hang around. So there was just this mountain of dead fucking ants, and it was getting to the point where the AI ants couldn't actually climb over the mountain of dead ants in order to get there. So they all sort of grouped into this giant tower of ants. I'm like, you know what would be great here? Artillery. I fucking dropped a howitzer right on top of them, and like, the game was just like, okay, we're gonna throw a lot of corpses around now. good job you got a good PC. The fucking sky lights up in red and there's just pieces of ant just flying all over the place. It's just like, this game's the fucking best. And it continues to only get more ridiculous the further you get in. I mean, these are basic weapons. Like, the class that I was playing, I think it's called the Air Raider, is more of a support class, and he gets those, like, artillery call-ins and bomber call-ins and things as one of his weapons. And that's the basic one. You can get even more fucking crazy shit later on in the game. And that one wipes out, I don't know, you drop this howitzer, and it'll destroy a city block, maybe, because all of the fucking city is destroyable. So that's the basic one, and it just gets more and more fucking insane. And you could have 4 of them in the same game if you want, just dropping artillery constantly. I have an ability, and this is why I need to play it with you guys, that can summon a 4-person giant mech vehicle that can just murder everything. I'm just like, I can't pilot it myself. I need 3 more people for this shit.
Guys, please.
Yes, I'm stuck to my spider tank. You know? Is
this the 4.1 one?
Yeah, Shadow of New Despair 4.1 on PC. It's the dumbest game. It's jank as fuck. The AI is dumb as shit. Like, the pathfinding's all over the place, but it doesn't matter because if the pathfinding breaks, you just, I don't know, destroy every building in between you and the enemy, and then it fixes itself. So it's all good. It's broke ass and terrible and great is what it is. Love it. It's such a cathartic game to play.
TB forgot to mention he is being sponsored by ants today.
Giant insects.
Insects are his big insect is his sponsor.
Big insect. But how did they come back? The giant insects. We should send them back to space. That's the level of voice acting in that game. It only gets better.
I can imagine.
It's just when the AI just randomly start chanting and singing that it's just, and they do so all slightly out of sync because it's all the same voice actor. So while everyone's chanting EDF, it's the same guy slightly pitch shifted like 30 fucking times. It's just like, it's the best fucking thing. Oh my god.
I think the only Earth Defense Force I played was the one for like the 360 years ago.
Yeah. The problem with EDF is like the games are always way too big and ambitious for the consoles they're on. Because like, yeah, can we have 600 ants on the screen? The answer is no, we can't. But you can on PC. That's the great thing. So it's just
That's true.
Go back home to space, giant insects. It's almost like they took part of the voice acting out and replaced the words, whatever the words for giant insects were, with giant insects. Because they're halfway through the sentence and then they're like, giant insects. It's like, Mr. Black. It's so cheesy. I fucking love it so much.
That's the greatest part about the game, though.
It is the greatest part about the game. It was a game that, like, if you gave a 13-year-old, like, an unlimited budget to design their dream game, Earth Defense Force would be fucking that game.
That's the one.
Oh, God. It's so good. It's so good. So, yeah, I've been playing a lot of that still. That's still enjoyable. Played a bit of Overwatch. I had a chance to finally play Anna when someone wasn't picking her.
Just go a full 6 team of Anna.
That sounds like a terrible idea, but okay.
How did you like Anna?
She's good, actually. It's like, now I have a healer that I actually enjoy playing.
Dude, Sam loves Anna. And apparently, pretty much any time you play her in ranked, everybody's like, pick a good support, fuck. Because they don't have a way for you to know when you're being healed by her. So the perception of like every other player is that she's not doing anything.
Gotcha.
Not like with all of the other supports where you have some sort of an like an auditory or a visual representation of, oh, I'm being healed right now.
I mean, there is an audio representation. Maybe
it's
that
a little
was,
like,
yeah. I mean, it's not very loud, but it definitely exists.
I don't notice it.
well,
Maybe it needs to be louder and more obvious. I think it could be really annoying to be, though, like, if you... Considering you have to get shot off multiple times by Anna to actually get healed.
Absolutely, that's the problem.
Okay.
So I have a feeling like having these really loud sounds every time she shot you, bearing in mind she shoots you like once every second, would be fucking irritating. They're actually buffing her, because she's been viewed as not very powerful right now.
Well, she's not.
Yeah.
Comparatively, she's not.
No, especially since Zenyatta got a buff, so Zenyatta's become more popular now. So, you know, yeah, she's probably the bottom tier healer. She's still useful. I think her ultimate is great. Like, just putting it on, like, a Genji with his ulti or putting it on fucking a Reinhardt. It's like, you just go in there and murder everything, please.
Yeah.
It's pretty juicy. Although you get flanked and very easily killed as Ana, I have to say. You know, your escape requires a decent amount of accuracy, and you might be dead before you even fire off that little fucking thing. No, she's not getting nerfed, she's getting buffed. They're increasing her fire rate, as in making that faster, and I believe they're increasing her magazine size. So...
I got all my Ana news from Force Strategy Gaming.
I'm sure, yes.
So that's all I got for... I don't play Overwatch anymore.
Yeah, I think they just patched the game, like, right now.
Too bad at it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Overwatch patch notes as of 51 minutes ago. Yeah, rate of fire increased by 20%, magazine size increased from 8 to 10. And the developer comment was like, yeah, people seem to like her, but she's kind of weak, so we're improving her. So there you go.
I really like how they've rebuilt D.Va, and I like the way that they've buffed Zenyatta as well.
I much prefer
Zenyatta's
D.Va
a
now.
little race car now, man.
It looks ridiculous when he activates his ult now. It's like, vroom vroom! Like, what the hell is going on with you?
Just pass into the Iris full force.
Indeed. Pass into the Iris and also pass all of these cars up here right now. It's like, meow! Pass the entire team. It's a lot better. D.Va's much more fun to play. Like, her ultimate actually kills people now because, you know, it takes 3 seconds rather than 4. But
it's really hard to get away now. It's like almost impossible.
The only experience I've had as D.Va so far, this new patch, is I think it's on a Krendor stream. Go find it. I wouldn't send you to go watch it, but it's in there. We were on Ilios, and it's the one with the hole in the middle of the map. And I did a run, used my ult, shot it off, and it fell into the hole. Nobody died. I was like, I can't even believe that happened. And then I was instantly killed by like a Reaper. It was like, what?
Yeah.
I like that you can toggle her shield is like Reinhardt's shield now.
It's phenomenal. Much better than it was.
Much better. She can actually tank shit.
Yes.
It's nice.
Yeah. I tanked a Pharah ult earlier, and I'm like, you could technically have done that before, but it would have been on cooldown. That's the thing, you know? Yeah. Taking it off a cooldown-based thing and having it be an energy bar is way more sensible. You know, you can see, like, it's like, oh, a fully charged Zarya is lobbing grenades towards our team. I can block that. Oh, there's a Junkrat raining shit down on our team. I can block that. Oh, there's a fucking Soldier 76 ult going off. I can block that.
Would she be better than playing as Reinhardt now if she has like the same shield?
No, I don't think so. Like, Reinhardt's shield is 2,000 fucking damage. You know, he's a very strong character, one way or the other. But D.Va's a lot better now. D.Va's totally playable
a lot better
now. So I'm much, much happier with her.
And they turned McCree into a broken piece of shit again. I'm so delighted. I love it.
They just nerfed him 51 minutes ago, apparently.
Good.
Fuck.
Every time I look at Overwatch news, it's McCree's like, too strong, he got nerfed. Too strong, already got nerfed.
Well, McCree seems like either he's too strong or too weak. Like, he's never right.
Yeah, what they do is they
nerf him. Better
him.
Widowmaker. It was fucking stupid.
They nerfed his one ability to be in your face and instantly kill you. And then they were like, all right, well, let's change it so that, like, players can stay in the back and, like, do the normal. And then he became, like, instant help, like, headshot master. And you're like, he's just a dude with a pistol, yo. That's
right. That's what confuses me.
Yes, that damn cowboy sniper. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Haven't been playing so much Overwatch over last week, but yeah, the addition of the new character and some of the changes has definitely freshened it up a little bit, which is good. I think there's anything else that I have been playing this week. Oh, yes.
Oh, boy.
So,
yes, this is going to be good.
So, you know, they finally brought out Marvel Ultimate Alliance on PC. So I was very excited about that because I loved X-Men Legends 1 and 2, but Marvel Ultimate Alliance never came out on PC. Like, it came out in 2006 or 2000, was it 2006? Something like that.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, something like that. And it came out on Xbox and PS3. I'm like, okay, it sucks that we missed out on that, but hey, finally comes to PC. I was like, yeah, we're doing a re-release and a remaster. They're not doing a fucking remaster. It's not a remaster at all. And this is a 12-year-old or so game, and they're like, yeah, this is $40. Or you can get both of them for $60. I'm like, you fucking what? But like, all right, you know, I've been wanting to play this game for a while on PC. I'll do it. Oh my god. If you do not own a controller, do not under any circumstances buy this, because the PC port of this is fucking laughable. It literally takes you about 5 minutes to get the proper resolution, because they don't have a drop-down menu, but they've got a bunch of random resolutions that are in there multiple times under different refresh rates, and you have to hit the button twice to move between them. Like, there's literally 2 copies of each one, but they're missing, like, things like 1080p isn't there. They got 640 by 480 at 5 different refresh rates, which you have to hammer the cursor key to get through 10 times, quite literally. They don't have 1080p! I don't know what the fuck is going on! Not to mention the fact that the game's keyboard and mouse controls are abysmal. I mean,
how do you jump in that game, TB? What's the button to jump?
Oh, the button to jump? You want to know what the button to jump is?
Yeah.
The button to jump is 3! 3! You want to open a door? You want to open a door, Mathas? Should I tell you how to do that?
Please do, TB.
4!
I need to know.
Not E or F, no, 4! And you know the best thing is you got 4 abilities down the bottom. They're labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess which button you don't press to activate them. 1, 2, 3, 4! You use a key combination to activate them. What the fuck?
Yep. That sounds right. This
Oh
sounds
my
right.
god, you have to restart the game to change the resolution, which is fucking hilarious in a game at this age. I was just like, I went to rebind the keys, and it's like, okay, you can pick default or custom. There's no difference. And I went below that, and it's like, binding 1, binding 2. Nothing happens when you press them. I went to the graphics options menu thinking, all right, I can set the graphics presets. I went to graphics options and hit enter, and literally nothing happened. Nothing. I sat there hitting enter over and over again, like, nothing. This,
Like, no,
they just didn't include them. They wrote graphics options and then put none of them in.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to go into these options. Just put it there to make them think.
It's fine.
This is why they didn't
This
send me
works.
code, because they knew I'd find this.
You say that, Mathas, like it's a joke. I guarantee they said it. No one's gonna buy this shit. It's not happening.
First of all, let's price it at 40, so like nobody really
Yeah, so
buys
no
it.
one. And the people who buy it, they're willing to accept any sort of shit.
God, man. The only reason I wanted the options menu to begin with is because the game default is 640 by 480. You know, that modern resolution.
4 stones. That is nailing it.
Oh my god. It doesn't even include all the characters either. Like the fucking gold edition of the game that had like 8+ different heroes. It's not there, and you have no way of buying it either.
I was gonna say,
Like-
did they at least make sure they
Include all the content? No, of course they didn't. And I thought, hey, I bet Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 will be better. I loaded it up and I hear nothing but distorted sound. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
4.
4! Yeah, I recorded my video for that one earlier. It'll be some nice schadenfreude for some people, no doubt. Jesus Christ.
God, I just don't.
What a
like,
remaster!
Christ, it's not. I don't understand.
I don't. How do you fuck that up so badly?
They're just ahead of the curve, guys. This is the future of gaming.
Small screens. Everyone's been saying small screens are where it's at.
It'll
Yep,
play
small-
really well on your
Small
smart.
screens, numpad only.
On your watch, it'll be great.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
optimized for Google Watch.
I
Yeah.
want
Glass.
Google Glass. Yeah, you know, the buttons, they're actually numbers. But
Microsoft VR.
yes.
It is that little tiny window that you
HoloLens, man.
Yeah, it's for
Yeah.
the HoloLens little baby window.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah, so that'll be fun to put together tonight. Haven't done one of those in a while. Yeah, so that was a little disappointing. I mean, it's not like it's not playable, but basically you really got to plug a pad in. Like, you really do. You want to play this with keyboard and mouse? Fucking have fun. Jesus Christ. What a fuck mess.
As another side note, they did not release a legendary bird at SDCC.
Which makes no, I mean, like, whatever. Everyone was losing their shit over it. Like, oh my God. And then
wait,
nothing happened. So it doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
It's a non-story, is what you mean?
Of course it is,
So
but
what I was gonna say is they've had so many issues with giant crowds of people creating security problems, and like, why on earth would they release a fucking legendary bird at San Diego Comic-Con?
people would die.
Yeah.
People would die there. They're not gonna do that.
No, that would be insane.
No.
That would be fucking stupid.
You just gotta do it in November for the polls so people go out and vote. I still think it's the greatest idea
That
ever.
poll-
Oh,
Polling
make
places?
every polling station a fucking
Yes.
Pokestop. That is a
Shit.
good.
Yes,
Mathas, you're a genius.
just do that.
That's why it's not going to happen. The establishment will not let that happen. That's going to bring out young voters. That'll fuck up
Wanna go-
everything. We can't have that.
Go to the poll. Just like she's
I love that Mathas is willing to give this game enough legs that it'll last till November. I fully believe that the hype will have been dead by then.
They just need to
That's-
continue.
If they keep
being
putting
like-
content in it, no.
Gen 2. You're crazy.
If they
Jesse.
keep putting content in, it'll be fine.
I just like I said, as long as they keep adding content to it, then it won't die as fast.
The hype, like Pokemon fans will still be in it. I guarantee that'll be a thing. The hype though around this, that like people who don't even play it, no, they'll be out. They'll be gone. Convinced of it.
We'll see. We'll revisit this come polling time.
Good.
Possible.
Come voting time.
Yeah.
We'll be like, the votes. Also, let's talk about Pokemon Go.
I love what Pokemon Go is doing with people, and I think that's awesome. And being cynical about that is a dick move,
Yes.
And a lot of people have taken the opportunity to be total shitheads about the game,
Because it makes them edgy.
in the mainstream media, online or whatever. It's like, oh, look at me not having fun like these people are. How dumb are these people? I love the fact that, in fact, I know I don't love the fact. I think the people that do this are fucking pieces of walking shit. But
Go on.
I love the fact that nerd shaming is literally the only acceptable shaming that still exists. Like, oh, you want to discriminate and bully nerds? You're totally allowed to do that. You could totally do that. Go write a
Fine, 'cause
newspaper
they're
article about it.
shut-ins.
Yeah.
Right. They don't like to go
fat,
outside.
sloppy
They need a game
shut-ins.
to go outside.
Yeah, we've been writing for the last 10 years about how they should get outside. Now they finally got outside and you tell them, oh, go back inside, nerd.
Right? I'm like,
Yep.
nobody gave a fuck when people were crushing candy on their phone for 300 hours.
Yep.
Like, we're actually outside.
Yeah, fuck
Give us
fuck
a
people
goddamn
like that.
break.
Fuck people like that. I will say, however, there are elements to the fandom, as there have been for everything popular, that are starting to really get on my fucking tits.
Yeah,
Oh,
Team
yeah.
Valor. Those Valor
One
assholes.
of them in particular being taking the goddamn team thing too far, because apparently they released images of the team leaders, and now there is a giant argument about assigning them genders and racial identities. And I'm like, oh,
God.
fucking stop it. Jesus Christ.
My favorite, the only thing that is just primo mwah, is like people shipping them. That's my favorite thing in the world. Is like pictures of them making out. I'm like, yes.
You want to do that? That's cool. Getting into literal fights and getting mad at people.
Oh,
It's like,
God.
well, I mean, I think he identifies as a pokekin or whatever it is. I don't even know. I'm not even going to try. A
Holy
pokekin.
shit! I want to be a Pokekin.
You can
Oh.
be.
I want to be.
You
You
are
absolutely
Mathas.
can.
You are. You are.
I am.
Anybody
I'm
can.
convinced.
You can be the very best pokekin, like no one ever
You know,
was.
I used to make fun of people who identified as animals and toasters and stuff. But what I just didn't realize is that I just needed the word Pokekin.
Wow.
You're actually just
You
you were
made
shut
fun
in.
of people who
You're-
were toasters.
You're a
You're
self-hating toastkin.
You're sick.
That's
You're
sorry. You're
sick.
right. You're right.
I self-identify as a boiler room.
Does Sam self-identify as a Valorkin?
I don't know.
Absolutely. Candela, best team leader, hottest team leader.
I didn't know they had names.
It was just like, okay,
Use Candela.
you want to role play?
Blanche,
You want to
and
pretend?
Spark.
Cool. You want to tell someone to literally kill themselves because they don't think this fictional character identifies in exactly the same way you do? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Fucking stop it.
I think it's all stupid, but I do enjoy that at least everyone made all these characters like, this character does this Spark, the one who everyone's like, let's shit talk that guy. In every fan art, people are like trying to make fun of him. I think he's having the most fun.
He looks like he's having a great old time. Like the other two take it so seriously, and then
Right.
he's like, guys, I'm
He's
just
like
chilling.
sitting there taking selfies with
thing.
Pokemon. I was like, I want to be on Instinct now because those guys seem like they're having a great time. Like
I've
that's
seen so many people be like, I think I might actually be an Instinct trapped in a Mystic's body.
right. Like I don't want to. Instinct Kid looks like he's having a blast. Everyone else is like, these two are fighting and they're so serious. Like, no, I want to be on that guy's team. That guy's like dapping with his fucking Pokemon.
It was at the point that people started to assign fucking
called
political
dabbing.
allegiances to them and then
Alright.
started literally like threatening others over it. Then I'm like, fuck
God.
fandoms
So
forever.
dumb.
So
That's valor
fucking
for you,
dumb.
right? Am I right?
Yeah,
you're
just
right.
Am I
Just
right?
let the
That's
internet
power.
take one of the most positive things to happen in
Miss-
gaming in years and fucking ruin it with their stupid shit.
Nothing is safe.
No,
TB.
it's not. It
Literally
really is
nothing
not.
is safe.
It's not.
From Valor's.
Burn it all down.
Nothing is safe.
Burn it all
From
down.
Team
Let's take a
Valor.
break. When we come back, we're going to cover releases, and then we're going to leave. Slightly shorter show today. We had to start a little bit late. Apologies for that, but we'll be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optional Podcast. This is not a lot of news this week. Can I, be an arrogant son of a bitch and make my own news and say that my tournament was really great on Sunday?
Sure,
Because
yeah.
it fucking was. Holy
Great.
shit. What a great tournament.
Hooray! Yeah.
Yeah,
We did it.
That's the news. If you missed it, by the way, Shoutcraft Kings, King of the Hill tournament we did. We had, what did we max out at? 32,000 concurrent viewers? 85,000 uniques. Pretty fucking great.
Nice.
Our entire tournament beat all of Overwatch on Twitch, which for StarCraft is not that common, so that was pretty great.
That's cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. A lot of people watched it. A lot of casual fans were like, hey, I haven't watched StarCraft in years, but this King of the Hill thing's pretty fucking cool. So if you want to watch the VODs for that, go check out youtube.com/TotalBiscuit. That's where all the VODs are, and it's going to be once a month. It's going to be great. It was awesome. That's my surprise
killing
players
it.
in for next month. Yeah, it was a good tournament. I had a lot of fun.
Slay.
Yep, so do
It's
go watch that.
Yeah. It's no
Anyway,
joke, man. It was
not.
The kids loved it.
They did.
That's cool. I haven't
Even my
watched
parents
Starcraft.
watched like 2 hours of it. She's like, we had no idea what was going on, but we thought the format was fun because it was cool that there was a new player every time and everyone was guessing and getting excited about that. And I was like, that's neat. All right, so it's like this is kind of appealing to people. Cool. Yeah, happy about that.
Yeah, but I feel like after seeing a little bit of it, it was very you're a Vince McMahon. I just want everyone to know that you're Vince McMahon, and you
Fuck
stacked
yeah.
it. You stacked it, and it was.
Well, I mean, you're not actually lying. I deliberately did. That was literally
And-
the whole
Not
point.
lying.
And then when The Rock showed up at the end, it didn't. I was like, he doesn't even know how to play the game.
Yeah,
But I
he was
love
a bad entry. Come to think of it, all
He
things
bodied-
considered.
He body slammed this poor kid. It was awful.
At one point, we just need Xavier Woods to show up and play in that tournament. That'd be kind of great.
That would have been awesome.
I mean, we do know him.
Yeah, we
He's
do
not,
know the
he's
gentleman.
not much of a strategy player. He's more of a fighting
That's
game
okay.
kind of dude, but we
No,
could
it's
probably
fine.
pull it off.
Yeah, no, he just runs in and he chairs someone and they lose the match.
Run through like a chair.
Yeah, hits a kid and then
Out.
runs away. That'd be an amazing. I'd be like, this is the greatest tournament there ever was.
I
If
believe
they
he
have to
did,
play
didn't he
and there was
play,
a ladder.
Didn't he play against Kenny Omega, another wrestler at EVO? Or was it another tournament quite recently?
Yeah,
I may
yeah,
have been
they
EVO,
played.
yeah.
Street
He did do
Fighter.
a show match. Yeah.
Yeah. They're legit. They actually do play, and they're good, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Weird
Except for
crossover.
RTS, as TB stated.
Yeah,
I'm very sorry.
not many wrestlers play
I'm sorry.
StarCraft, I'm afraid.
I'm so sorry he called you shit at RTS games. But if you want to show up to his next tournament and show him what's what, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's not much on the news front this week, really. Xbox got a slight decrease in cost because they're releasing the S, so they priced down the older one to $249. Which is all right, cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, there isn't really a whole lot going on,
No.
honestly.
There really is not.
Hey guys, new Xbox is coming.
We
Whoa.
already knew that.
shit. Will it be
That's-
Lilt?
My goodness.
It will not be Lilt. I can guarantee.
I
Look
threw
out of
it
all the
Ah,
consoles, Microsoft would be
Lilt.
the one that would try and brand their console as Lilt.
as Lilt.
As Lilt.
I
as
think
Lilt.
they're already on the Mountain Dew train at this point. I don't think Lilt is an international competitive brand that would really suit them all that much. That'd be great though if the next few years Mountain Dew in the gamer space is completely replaced by Lilt with the totally tropical taste. It'd be wonderful.
You should
Everyone's just so
reach
chill.
out to them. Be like, would you like to sponsor Shoutcraft?
Yeah, man. Sponsored by
You would
Lilt.
love a tropical taste.
We'd love a totally tropical taste, man.
Maybe don't pitch it that way.
Oh, you think that might come across as mildly racist?
I think it might. I think they might be or they'll be delighted.
They might be.
Where
No,
did
they're
you
marketing so well.
where did you hear about our drink? Right near the beach, boy.
In the bitch. Use the word blood at random to describe people. It's like, will you stop that?
Hey, I heard it near the beach. Yeah, and just it's you. Do a little jingle. It'd be great.
That just sounded like Crendor there,
Put on
not
some-
an
put
actual
on some
Jamaican.
Put on some Bob Marley in the background. Be like, I'm interested in your beverage.
I really
dear.
like Lilt.
Lilt
Well,
is great.
jamming.
Lilt is fucking awesome. Lilt is in the vending machine at the Holiday Inn in Telford, and I'm going to drink it from there.
Perfect.
It'll be great. Yes, they released a couple of screenshots of the remasters of Dead Rising.
Cool.
I mean, which looks great. I'm just happy to have Dead Rising 1 on PC, because that was the best one of the whole fucking series.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that again. Also, consoles are getting Dead Rising 2 and Off the Record, which obviously we already had on PC, but the port's being handled by Qlock, who are actually pretty good. So hopefully the PC version is going to be great. I'm looking forward to playing that again. So much fun. Learning that whole mall and just learning the optimal way around the mall and where all the good weapons were. It's like, all right, I need to hit this shop right here, and then there's going to be someone that shows up at 2 p.m. in the food court. Got to go deal with them, and all that stuff. It was such a weird game.
Yeah, I honestly had more fun watching other people play that game than I did actually playing it.
The stress of the clock got me. Like, I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, a lot of people think that way, and I think, like, that's a valid opinion, but it also, like, if you take that away from the game, it defeats the point of the game.
But you're also wrong.
No.
And I'm there, man.
So put words in your
That's
mouth.
totally valid, but
Personal
You're
opinion,
wrong.
man.
It's
I
not
don't
a personal opinion, man.
no, stop. Stop, report.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, dear.
Everybody loves the tilt. It's so good.
Oh, my- what is happening anymore?
Everybody loves tilt.
Tilt, not tilt.
Tilt.
Everybody loves the tilt. Everybody loves to be on tilt.
I can't even famously promote correctly.
You're so shit at everything.
Oh
dear.
my god.
Yeah.
You want to just bang out this release list?
Let's just do releases and
Bang
go.
it out.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a good idea. There's actually not that many releases,
There's
but
not a ton of stuff.
No,
So
there
we
are
should
not.
get through it pretty fast.
yeah.
Today, July 26th, we have We Happy Few, which we discussed earlier.
Early access, just bear that in mind, please. Don't
Yeah.
believe that it's a full
It
game.
is a
fucking
preview
is
build.
Not!
It is not a finished product.
Not!
Next up, we have Riptide GP Renegade.
Oh, Jesus. I remember doing a video on Riptide, I think a previous one ages ago. It was a really bad mobile clone of Wave Race, basically. I'm hoping this one is a bit better. Apparently, this is the future of illicit hydrojet racing, however. People are actually in fucking armor and shit, which is
Buying
interesting.
it right now.
Yeah, I hope it's good. Like, I like fucking jet ski racing, but it looks like probably not. Because it looks like all of the stunts are automatic, the controls barely work, just like the previous version. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, so it's like the mobile version last time, apparently. Oh, my.
Perfect. Next up is Headlander, which we
Yeah,
also
talked about Headlander. It's a
earlier.
great game. You should probably check that out if you're into the Metroidvania kind of games.
The game after that is called Montaro.
Oh, it's a shitty, mean game with a
Montaro.
fucking Doge in it that's 99 cents.
One of the tags is psychological horror.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me. Indie casual memes and psychological horror. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with any of those things.
July 27th, we have Mutant Muds Super Challenge.
What's that? Mutant Muds was like a platformer from ages ago, if I recall correctly. Was that correct? Yeah. There's only one game mode. It's Super Challenge with a trusty water cannon guide max through 40 retro-inspired 2D pixel platform.
You've lost him. The minute you include retro inspired, he's gone.
Fucking damn it. Next.
Next game is called Hover Havoc. It kind of reminds me of what's that game everybody likes to play with the cars and the balls and the soccer with
Rocket
hockey.
League?
Rocket League?
Rocket League.
Ball
It
ball
Yeah,
cocky?
it looks like
Ball cocky.
kind of like Rocket League, but you're
Ball
in
cocky?
hover
That's
cars.
ball cocky.
Ball cocky coming out this
Yeah,
fall.
ball cocky.
Ball cocky. That's my
Ball
new
cocky,
name.
the game. This is Hover Havoc is similar to ball cocky.
Ball car hockey. Ball cocky. I don't know what's wrong about that.
Game after that is called Francisca.
Which we saw last week, and it's not got good reviews. Apparently, it's incredibly short. It literally is walk around a house like it's about like Gone Home without all the good bits of Gone Home in it. So
That's a shame.
All right. The game after that is called The Amazing Shinsengumi.
What?
I mean, I'm going to assume this is some sort of visual novel.
I would assume. Yes.
I think I assume correctly. Yep, it is a visual novel. Yay. Next.
The next game is called Tower Island. It is a VR game. It looks like you just walk around an island.
Okay,
This VR game.
great.
The next game is called Spirit Sphere. All is one word.
Supposedly, it is a mixture of Zelda and Windjammers.
Yeah, it.
Okay.
All the videos I've seen have been like super unique and cool, but yeah, I don't know if that means it's good.
It's
but
like
it
playing
looks-
air hockey with Zelda characters, apparently, which is like, all right then, I guess.
The game after that is called Castle Invasion Thrown Out. It is a defense game where people are trying to invade your castle.
and the throne is spelled like a throne, not the thing you do.
It's true. That is
Hilarious. Next.
true. July 28th, we have SEUM, Speedrunners from Hell.
It is apparently the world's only competitive heavy metal first-person platformer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it literally is in first person, like it's like doing a speedrun level in something like Quake or whatever. But it's metal as fuck, apparently. The bastard child of Quake 3 and Super Meat Boy, it claims.
Okay. The game after that is called This Is the Police.
Yeah, this is going to ruffle a few feathers, so I've heard from preview builds, because
Really?
it gets very close to a lot of bones, and it has some very kind of brutal things in it.
Interesting.
Very uncompromising in many ways. It upset a couple of preview reviewers who felt that they... I believe the quote like from one magazine was like, I don't know what the game wants me to think. I was like, well, I don't know, you can think for yourself, but apparently it is...
like, it's unclear what its message is.
Yeah, it's like, I think some people have problems when games just have bad things happen and don't explicitly tell you that they're bad. You know,
Right.
because I guess they expect you to be able to determine that for yourself because you're a well-adjusted adult. Apparently, this has got stuff like that in it. Like you can be very bad, and you know, there are some people who are being very offensive and very discriminatory. I mean, it's called "This Is the Police." I imagine corruption is an issue within this game. So,
Right.
yeah, I'm intrigued to play it now. Actually,
Yeah, that got me interested.
yeah. It's like, hey, an adult game written for adults. What a fucking revelation. Next.
Yeah, this game looks stressful. The next game is called Uncrewed.
Real-time strategy game. You can design units from scratch, and apparently units are like physics-based, which is potentially
Okay.
cool, but it is also in early access, so I imagine it's not actually going to be functional for several years.
The game after that is called The Tribe. It's a tactical runner.
What on earth is a
says-
tactical runner?
You maneuver, fight, think, sacrifice, and evolve on the run.
Huh. It looks pretty neat. There's a pterodactyl in it for some reason. Very large pterodactyl.
Yeah, it looks like you're like a group of people who don't have a home. So you're just like constantly moving and trying to survive, I guess.
Mm.
What, Jesse? What are you so excited about?
Oh Jesus.
The next game.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
In case of emergency, release Raptor. Would you like to tell us about it?
Robots rule the world, and the only way to save it is by being a velociraptor. And you literally are a velociraptor who just wrecks shit. It is the most nonsensical thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's giving me a
It's-
goat simulator vibe.
It's you're just a velociraptor and you destroy stuff. I want
Oh, it's
to play
okay.
this.
So it's Arkin or Arson Games. They do weird stuff. They did that
The
simulator,
Last Federation.
which I loved.
Yeah. They did a whole bunch of stuff, but now
they
they've done...
do weird games, man.
They do, but this does look very kind of Goat Simulator-esque, maybe a bit more directed. But yeah, you're a raptor and you fuck shit up, basically.
Yep, that's the premise. You're a raptor.
Oh, and
Yep.
it's coming out. It's going to be early access.
Okay.
Yes, so it'll
Great.
probably be crappy for a good while.
Fan Friday written all over it.
Next.
July 29th, we have Cross Death VR.
Yeah,
Oh,
it looks like some
Jesus.
sort of, another generic horror FPS for
Yeah.
VR.
The next game is Loka, Loka, all in caps.
Oh, that's League of Keepers. It's supposed to be, I think, Asylum, but they misspelled it, Elysium. I think it was the game that last week we
Okay.
couldn't figure out what the fuck it was, like some weird Korean thing. Yep, it is. It is that game. Apparently that got delayed, and they still haven't explained what it is. Next.
Blade Arcus from Shining.
Yo, it's a
Battle
fighter.
Arena.
Yeah, it's a fighter.
Yeah, it's an anime fighter, by the looks of it. Developers of
Okay.
Shining Blade and Shining Hearts. I've never heard of either of those, but it is an anime fighter.
The next game is called The Hidden Dragon.
Please be a game that is an Asian themed
It's
look
not.
for items. Really?
No, it's not Asian themed look for items. It's other things look for items.
Yeah, it is just literally. It's
hidden object, basically. Next.
The next game is called The Fallen Kingdom.
The Fallen Kingdom. Terrible logo. Third-person open-world realistic RPG that'll take you to medieval Europe in a time of great stress and upheaval and strife. Early access. So, early access medieval survival thing. Okay, next.
Mustache in Hell is the next game.
Yes, please.
Where you're a little dude in hell. It looks like a bullet hell shootery game.
Yeah, top-down bullet hell shootery thing. Next.
Yeah. Next is Party Panic.
I've heard of this before.
Me too.
Yeah, it looks like a sort of bit of a twist on Gang Beasts. It's sort of it's 15 different rapid-fire mini games that you sort of do in sequence.
Okay.
So bit of Gang Beasts, bit of Mario Party in there by the looks of it.
Right. The next game is called M.exe, and it's a monster battle game where you just have an arena and you have monsters that fight each other.
Yeah, you're a monster trainer. And it's a tactical monster battler.
Early access, it looks very basic.
Yeah. The next game is Quatros Origins.
Quatros Origins is not loading.
What is this? Looks like Tetris. Block
Puzzle game?
Block puzzle elimination thing.
Well, apparently it's so interesting that Steam can't even load it. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's a block puzzle. Trying to reconnect with the old days of block puzzle arcade games. Okay.
Sure.
Why not?
Next is Tokyo Warfare. You're just like, you choose a side and then you have a war in Tokyo.
Okay. How exactly?
Well, like it shows like you in tanks and stuff. It's just like an empty Tokyo.
Oh, this looks awful.
You just like fight in
Okay,
Tokyo,
then I guess. Next.
Next is called Totally Unbalanced.
3D platform game. You're a beach ball. You're jumping over platforms. Yay. Next.
Next is called DN Age. It looks very anime.
You are literally genetically modifying monsters. It's like improve the DNA of your monsters, create stronger specimens. You're playing God in this game. You are literally nope.
Create monster girls. How you've always wanted to.
Oh, shit.
Next is called Axis Football.
Didn't we learn from Jurassic Park, Dodger?
This is a terrible name for a football game. I was expecting fucking Hitler on the field and everything like that. You know, you can play as your favorite Third Reich
the Kaiser
characters.
is out there.
Goebbels is in there. Ribbentrop. You know, all playing football. No, it's literally just a
Tojo's out there.
simulation game.
I just typed in DNA and I got Gender Bender Twister Extreme.
Next.
Next game is called Deranged Rabbits, and it's just a really simple Meat Boy-esque side scroller where you're a rabbit.
Yep.
The game after that is Weaponized Chess.
It's chess.
With weapons, I assume. Yeah, it's chess with weapons and stealth mechanics in it.
What?
If you want to play a chess game, it's not a chess game, play fucking Regicide. The Warhammer 40k game is much better.
The next game is called Cyber Sentinel, and it says, experience the hacker's side of cyberpunk in Cyber Sentinel.
Yeah, because that's never been done before. It's a visual programming kit puzzle game for designing your own viruses, apparently.
All right, I'm sending that off to Northern Lion.
Which is interesting, if it's done right.
Into that.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept.
Yes,
so.
yeah.
The game after that, on July 30th, is called Supipara.
Anime booby
bullshit.
visual novel. Yeah.
Great. August 1st, we have Zombie Camp.
Oh, shit.
I kind of hope this is what I think it is and not just boring. No, it's a room scale VR shooter. I was hoping it was like you had to run a camp for zombie children and you had to like, you know, keep them happy and teach them various life skills. No, it turns out you're just killing killing zombies in VR. Next.
The next game looks interesting. It's called System Crash, and it's a cyberpunk card game.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks, they're claiming to be inspired by Blade Runner and Neuromancer, which I guess we're going to be inspired by Cyberpunk. Those are two pretty good sources.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Next.
Game after that is called Strange Night.
First-person horror game, by the looks of it.
The game after that is Leth.
Left there.
And when you type it in, it's Leth Episode 1.
Of course it is.
It looks like it's a exploration story game. First-person adventure, survival horror.
Yes, pretty much.
Explore atmospheric, frightening worlds.
Yep, we've seen a
etc.
lot of games that have been trying to do that lately. Next.
Next is Land It with an exclamation point at the end.
Shit.
Air traffic control game that reminds me very much of flight control and stuff like that.
Great. And the final game is called Intrude, and it looks like Doom.
It's Wolfenstein, basically.
Yeah. Wow, they managed to make it look worse than all of those games, which is impressive. That is not a good art style. Oh my god. I mean, how cool would they make it like
came out on the NES?
Yeah, I'm cool with them making stuff that looks like an old school FPS. I totally play. The problem is the art style I've chosen for this is completely uninspired in every way. So that's the real problem with it. Shame. All right, well that's about it then.
That's it.
So,
That's it.
couple of decent things, mostly crap. No big surprises there. Pretty much
Word.
wraps up the show, really. Couple of decent things, mostly crap.
Mostly crap.
Mathas, thank you very much for showing up and being our emergency fill-in today.
Tier 1 fill-in, no problem.
Indeed, tier 1, much appreciated. If you want to find Mathas'
What's
channel,
Krendor then?
I think I've degraded him to tier 2 now.
Okay, that's fine.
YouTube.com/MathasGames, check that out. Most of us are going to be at CoxCon. Well, I say most, half of us are. Like, in terms of weight, most of us are going to be at CoxCon. So, myself and Jesse will be at CoxCon. There will be a show next week. There's planned to be a show next week on the 2nd of August. I'll be in England. Jesse will still be in England. It'll be a disorganized mess, no
And
doubt.
I'll be home.
Yay!
I'll be right here, like usual.
Indeed. So thank you very much for watching the show, ladies and gentlemen. Much appreciated. Check out all of our channels. They are below our faces, or in my case, my dog's face. Hopefully this rash goes away the next week and I can be back on camera. Yay! That would be nice. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and we will see you next time. Goodbye!
Bye. Mwah.